Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Eubanks Field, home of the Fairview Yellow Jackets. Tonight's game is starts our district play against the Hooker Bulldogs.
Let them tailor a pricing option to fit your budget. Avoid winter price spikes with easy pay, steady, predictable monthly payments you can count on. Need more fuel options? They also offer bulk fuel delivery, DEF, lubricants, and supplies for your business, all at competitive prices. For reliability 3 generations strong, call Earnhardt Oil and Propane at 866-270-1279 or visit www.earnhardtpropane.com.
Since 1962, the Eitzen Agency has delivered quality insurance solutions to you, your family, and your business. You'll find homeowners, auto, business, and life insurance, and they specialize in church insurance. But there's something else. They haven't forgotten their small-town roots for friendliness and courtesy, and they are committed to helping you find a policy that fits your needs. At the Eitzen Agency, they'll work with you to ensure that you and those you care about the most are protected. Call 580-227-2553 for the Eitzen Agency, 102 South Main in Fairview.
The High Plains Insurance Agency takes pride in keeping up with many changes in the crop insurance industry and keeping their insurers informed of these changes. The goal is to help each farmer customize their crop insurance to meet their needs. Thanks for your continued business, and remember, call Amy, Carissa, or Danny at High Plains Insurance in Medford and Loyal at 580-395-2447 or toll free at 1-800-346-4056 for a quote today.
With over 24 flavors of iced tea, HTO is your new destination for the best premium water and iced tea in all of Oklahoma. Offering around 500 drink combinations and half-price tea during happy hour, this is your ultimate tea playground. With a location open in Ardmore and numerous locations coming soon, including the Village and South Oklahoma City, be sure to stop by HTO and experience the best tea you've ever sipped on.
At Maples Nixon Diesel Horse, we've helped a lot of people, and our goal was to treat each and every person like a friend. And as a friend, we've got your back, always. We understand what you're going through. Being lawyers is what we do, but it's not all that we are. We care. We'll stand beside you throughout the entire legal process, not just as lawyers, but as your friends. We are Maples Nixon Diesel Horse, and we are here to help.
Dr. Devin Nightingale is your chiropractic choice in North Edmond with easy access from Cashion, Guthrie, Luther, and all the Oklahoma City surrounding areas. As a former college athlete, Dr. Nightingale understands the importance of a fully functioning body to gain that competitive edge. Also certified in prenatal and pediatric treatments, Dr. Nightingale sees all types of patients, ranging from 2 weeks old to 97 years old. We offer conservative treatments to get you back in the game, whether you're a weekend warrior or a professional athlete. So give us a call at 405-471-5565 for a free consultation today.
Back to school. Now your worries about the kids going over on their data plans are back. Mom and Dad, this is for you. Right now, make the switch to Pioneer's unlimited data plans. Don't let data overages and high cell phone bills be something you stress about this school year. We have a plan for everyone. Let Pioneer handle your worries by stopping at a local office today to learn how you can save. Visit gopioneer.com for details. Some restrictions may apply.
For over 50 years, Tulsa Tech has helped people find new career paths, jobs, and a successful future. We've partnered with Tulsa businesses to grow our economy and help train the workforce of our community. During these uncertain times, one thing is for sure. Tulsa Tech will be here when life returns to normal, helping people make their own path. We will get through this together.
This is Game Time. Neptune Game Time creates a high-energy game day atmosphere that your players and fans will love. Every song in our database is 100% lyric safe, which means you can stop screening music for good. Game Time also provides custom messaging to help you promote your upcoming events, concessions, and event-specific announcements. And it gives you the opportunity to sell sponsorships on your station that will generate revenue for your athletic department. Amp up your game day with Game Time.
For generations, the FFA has been helping our children through agriculture to grow into responsible adults. We believe in and we support the work being done by our local FFA chapters and all they do to create an enriching experience for our youth. For all you do, you have our thanks. Farm Credit of Enid. Together, we grow. Is your school or booster club looking for ways to fundraise? Let Downtown Threads create a custom website to showcase all your school apparel. You pick the design and the garment, we do the rest. We will handle all the payments and cut you one check when the website is closed. Call today, 580-237-7060. Downtown Threads, proudly supporting all local high school athletes.
Ready to get back in the game? Great news! The movement experts at Physical Therapy Central can help you find relief and results and keep you off the sidelines. With over 30 convenient locations across Oklahoma City and beyond, contact PT Central today at ptcentral.org to see a physical therapist.
It's time to stop worrying about what's for dinner. Whether you're planning an event or just need meals at your doorstep, let Devlin prepare and deliver fresh food wherever and whenever you need it. Choose from our variety of fresh catering and prepped meals and enjoy the delicious, nutritious food you deserve. Do what you do best while Devlin takes care of the rest. Visit devlinllc.com to see what we can do for you.
Scott Streller and team have been proudly serving the Edmond community for over 30 years. At the Streller Agency, we take pride in offering premier service and the highest quality insurance available. Auto, home, life, and more. Our award-winning team has over 150 years combined experience to offer, and we're always working hard to make sure you never have to worry and always have peace of mind. So call or visit StrellerAgency.com today for your custom quote.
Imagine a school with more than 26,000 enrollments per year, cultivating opportunities for students to develop new skills and gain industry-recognized certification. Now imagine a corporate training center that partners with more than 500 local businesses each year, providing a productive and prepared workforce for employers in Oklahoma through customized training. Now, imagine a community resource who believes our business thrives when our community thrives. We aren't just the local VOTEC, we are Autry Technology Center.
Are you looking for a bank that provides excellent security and safety for your account information? Then Bank Central is made for you. When you use our website, bcna.com, you can pay bills, check account balances, download statements, and even manage your debit card. With our mobile app, you can do all that, plus make deposits as easily as taking a picture with your phone. Talk to a CSR at any of our 6 locations to find the products that work best for your banking needs. At Bank Central, we're centered on you. Member FDIC.
Few things bring communities together like high school sports.
Pretty cool.
The
I don't think I've seen
passion,
this anywhere else.
the drama, the atmosphere, the tremendous thrill of victory, and the agonizing pain of defeat. There's nothing like it, and nobody in Oklahoma brings you all of that better than Squirtle. So sit back, hold on, and get ready for another thrilling ride, because it's time once again for the Squirtle Game of the Week.
Number 5, Jackson Parker. 13, Lawson Lynch. 62, Peyton Parker. 70, Adrian Mendoza. 78, Lionel Heredia. won the toss, deferred to the second half. Fairview will be receiving, defending the north goal.
Hello and welcome to the Squirtle Game of the Week, powered by Career Tech. Mark Rogers and Adam Dieselhorst at Eubanks Field in Fairview for a big one in Class A, District 1. It is the Hooker Bulldogs taking on the Fairview Yellow Jackets this evening, and we should have a great ball game tonight between a couple of teams, Adam, that have really battled in the last few years and had a good one right here on this very field a year ago.
Well, yeah, but you look at the statistics as we see here, the sheet that you put together, I mean, looking at the record that Hooker's had over the last 5 years, even the last decade, I mean, it's across sports, too, for Hooker. They are a lot of athletes, boys basketball very successful, football very successful, and Fairview's really been turning the corner here with football, too, as well. And this is kind of the matchup you circle. It's kind of one of those times where this is a matchup you want to watch. It's kind of a shame it's early in the year. You'd like to see it later. Last year, I believe they played Week 9 or Week 10 during the season, because I do think these are the two best teams in the district, but I'm really excited about it.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And Hooker, they traveled 158 miles to get here tonight, so their non-district schedule usually doesn't really involve many Oklahoma teams. They dropped a game to Sunray, Texas, and if you just go through some comparative scores, that's a really, really good football team that they dropped the opening game to. So this will be a fun game tonight. Hooker, they're going to like to throw the football all over the field. They'll spread it out and try to dial up some passes. We got a little bit of a wind tonight,
we do.
So about 25-mile-an-hour breeze out of the south.
Yeah, when I was walking up and hanging my banners, Coach Menard from Fairview was like, man, I hope this wind dies down just a little bit, because obviously Fairview the same way. They like to throw it around. We might be here for 4 hours tonight.
Well, if we are, we've got plenty of food because it's been a fantastic job by people here to stock the press box, so it's going to be a lot of fun tonight. Great hospitality here in Fairview.
Can we get an early ranking on the cupcake?
The cupcake was great. I mean, it was fantastic. It's everything you want in a cupcake and more. Who's responsible for the cupcakes?
That was Miss Mason.
Mrs. Mason? Miss
Yes.
Mason, yeah. But she knows how to make some cupcakes.
Yep.
There's also some how would you call those? The bars in there with some coconut bars?
Yeah.
Yeah, those are I'm not going to leave here without one of those.
Well, I told you we'd get taken. Actually, I didn't tell you. I failed to tell you. I didn't know that they would be so hospitable. It shouldn't surprise me, though, here. But, man, they've got a whole spread in there that looks pretty impressive. I hope the game is as impressive as the spread of food is inside.
Well,
there.
I could tell how friendly people are here in Fairview when I pulled into the Jiffy Trip, and they got Coke and Pepsi in the same fountain, which is not something that you see really anywhere else, maybe but Western Oklahoma. So we're looking forward to having a great ball game tonight. This one should be a lot of fun. Great crowd on hand here tonight in Fairview. A lot of people have also made the drive from Hooker for what should be an interesting one in Class A. We'll take a look at Class A. It's one of the more fascinating classifications in Oklahoma, spread out so far and so wide, and really a lot of teams from different parts of the state that don't get a chance to see each other until perhaps deep in the playoffs. So it'll be fun to take a look at potential playoff matchups and what's on the line here between these two teams, which is a second-round home game, which can mean a lot based on how far you have to travel.
Yeah, and nobody wants a second-round home game to have to play at Hooker. I'm just going to be honest with you, because not only is the travel difficult, but in that time of the year, the second week in November, it's not always enjoyable to play a football game out there. I mean, you better be ready for a wind chill and some wind blowing and maybe a little bit of ice and maybe a little bit of snow maybe even too as well.
There's no doubt about that. Trevor Powers is in his 5th year as the head coach at Hooker. He's 32-12, and he's 2-2 in this rivalry, which has been played for the last 12 consecutive years. Robert Bernard in his 7th year here at Fairview, 39-32, and the Yellow Jackets, he is 3-3 all-time against Hooker. So you can see that the past few years this season has been very even. So Hooker won the opening toss. They will kick with the wind at their back. Fairview will have the option at halftime to decide what they would like to do.
Man, what a crowd.
Really is, and I'm not going to complain too much about the wind. It's about as good as you could get for a night of football here. It is perfect.
Well, and, I know down around the city yesterday, Mark, the sun actually did come out, but up here in Northwest Oklahoma, even in the Enid area, it was 65 degrees here yesterday. So our bipolar weather that we have.
Well, I was a little concerned because I did drive over Deep Creek on the way out here. There's an opening kickoff that Hooker has a chance to recover. I don't know if he hit that or it was on purpose, but he hit the kick right at number 34 for the Jackets, Grant Church, the sophomore who recovered it. That could have been a big play. Heads up by Church. Ball bounced off of him, a rocket, and he was able to get back on top of it to give Fairview really good field position here at the 50.
Yeah, I definitely think that was not done intentionally. It looked like the kicker was surprised by that, what occurred there.
I drove over Deep Creek, but I didn't see any water. I'm a little concerned. It's not so deep now. Robert Bernard, the quarterback, or Zach Bernard, the quarterback, and opening play gains not much. The Hooker defensive line, a really pretty big group for the Bulldogs up front, are able to hold that to really not much of a gain at all.
Well, and if Fairview is doing well on offense and things are going the way they want them to be, you're going to see a lot of Blake Perez. He's a big factor in what they do.
We'll call it no gain. We got motion in the backfield. That's going to cost the Jackets 5 yards. Perez got a little bit of an early start. Across the front for Hooker on defense, Carlos Salinas, 5'10", 200-pound senior. Rhett Nunley, 6'3", 325-pound sophomore. And Jonathan Kano, a 5'10", 215-pound sophomore. So quite a few sophomores on this Hooker team. 3 of the sophomores start on the offensive line on the other side of the ball. They'll walk up into a 5-man front here, a 5-2 look, conventional defense. Bernard has a man in the flat. It's caught, makes a man miss, and a very nice gain. Going to pick up the first down and a little bit more.
And that's Hauk for Fairview. He is a college-level type player on the defensive side of the ball, and obviously he makes, anytime they can get him the ball on the offensive side, too, he makes big plays.
17-yard pass from Bernard to Hauk, and it's a first down for the Yellow Jackets. Bernard try the right side of the field. Has a receiver over there. It's Isaiah Burris. And Burris still fighting. He gets out of bounds. The 32-yard line, a gain of 7. Perez gets the handoff, has more running room along the left side, and he is met and tackled by the nose guard, Rhett Nunley, but not before he gets right at the stick. That'll be a gain of, I'll call it 4, first down for Fairview.
Well, in that time you see Perez, obviously you're not going to be able to arm tackle him, and he dropped 2 guys in the backfield on his way to a little scamper for the first down.
Bernard rolls to his right, has a receiver, and it's dropped. Reed Martins in the flat. May have got his hands and his feet kind of mixed up. Incomplete pass, the first of the night.
A good job there by Jackson Arnold, too, getting there quick and wrapping up. A lot of times you don't see that. It's one thing about kind of early in the year when you get 2 good teams together, typically coverage is a little better. Teams are a little better up front, so both these teams are going to have to adjust to that. I don't think really they've played anybody on their schedule as good as each other yet.
Fairview will move to the left hash. Huge room here on the right side of the field. I'll hand it to Perez right at the middle. He's got room, and he's breaking tackles. He's running through the Hooker defense all the way down to the 13-yard line. 15-yard gain for Perez. And the Jackets have a nice drive going. Perez moves to the right of Bernard. Pass over the middle. It's caught. Big hit right near the sticks. Another catch this is the first catch of the night for Burris. Or excuse me, the second catch for Burris.
Nice cut.
And the Yellow Jackets have scored. First points of the game go to Blake Perez, and Fairview leads 6-0.
Well, that's a great drive there by Fairview. They got backed up early with a penalty and a loss on a run. But, man, Perez, if he's getting positive yardage, Fairview's offense is going to be tough to stop.
Perez with 4 carries for 24 yards and the touchdown. Snap is a little low. The extra point is up, and it is good. We'll take an opening timeout. Fairview takes it right down the field for the first score of the game. 51-yard drive for the touchdown, and the Yellow Jackets lead the Bulldogs 7-0.
This is your moment. You've got what it takes. The grit to get from first steps to finishing touches. You're here to train, to put in the hours. Because today's hard work gives you an edge. To get hired, to earn more, to fine-tune a future to be proud of. Career Tech. Get skilled, get paid.
The thing with car buying nowadays is just how many options there are when it comes to where to actually get a car. Dealerships, websites, auctions, private sellers, and so on. But knowing exactly where to get your car loan makes it all much less stressful. That's where Communication Federal can help. There's a reason we're known for auto loans around here. Lots of car options and lots of places to buy, but only one choice for an auto loan. Communication Federal Credit Union.
Caden Pettis has it teed up for Fairview. Will kick into the wind. That ball had some Fernando Valenzuela action on it. It's received by Trace Duncan.
This could be big.
And Duncan has a caravan out in front of him. It's kind of weird how the game of football works out. Is that about the same field position for both teams, almost exactly the same field position for both teams to start out the game.
And just like you draw it up, your kicker makes the tackle, right? I mean, we see that happen a lot in Class A. That's one thing we talked about.
Pettis is 6'4", 235, though. He's not the typical kicker, right?
And he can run, too. He's a good athlete. We see this a lot. We talk about this in the 8-man games that we cover, is anybody that actually has a kicker that can do some things with it can really be a big weapon in these small school games.
So it's an empty set backfield for Cleet Martins, a sophomore quarterback from Hooker. Martin's going to call his own number. He's pretty elusive. It's a nice run. Wasn't a whole lot there for him. Martins takes the opening carry of the game for about 7 yards. This Fairview team will throw it a lot, but the quarterback can be a dangerous component of the offense when he's running. Now Hooker is in a straight wishbone. Hand off to the fullback. He dives forward for 4. That's going to be enough for the first down. And mark him just right at the sticks. Ball carrier number 13, Lawson Lynch. They're going to mark him short, so let's call it a gain of 2. That's good job up front by the Fairview defensive front. Braden Mason, the senior, Ethan Wallace, and Pettis. And it's back to the bone. First man through again. They're going to rely on those big offensive linemen, and it pushes it through another couple of yards. This time it'll be good for the first down. Stop made for the Jackets by Bowden Miller, sophomore. Both teams with a talented group of sophomore players. Backfield is broken. Handoff goes to the I-back tailback. That is Martin's, or excuse me, that is again Fabian Castaneda, the first time we've called Castaneda's name tonight. So far, maybe a little deviation from the typical Hooker game plan. 4 plays and 4 rushing attempts.
Well, and I'll tell you one thing, talking to Coach Bernard before this game, he thought maybe that Coach Powers would try to shorten the game some and huddle, which with the high-power offense that Fairview has and the kind of success they've had over the years against Hooker, I didn't think that was actually a bad idea, and so far he's been right. Nice.
Martins is dragged down. That's a great tackle in the backfield, and it'll be a loss of 5. Hauk, you mentioned how good a defensive player he was, Adam, and that was a big-time play.
Yeah, Hauk is a elite player. He is
all good coverage. Threw it where only his man could receive it. Jackson Arnold was the intended target, and the pass falls incomplete. And it will be 4th and 13.
I think Coach Powers from Hooker wanted pass interference. I think he felt like his receiver was getting rode out of bounds, but I think it was good coverage, at least from my viewpoint up here.
Looked like great coverage. It's really been a good last decade for Hooker sports, especially football, track. We can get into some of that here in a minute. That kick goes into the end zone. So a net punt of only 22 yards, and the Jackets will take over at the 20-yard line already with a 7-0 lead.
Well, yeah, you talked about Hooker and athletics. I mean, boys basketball, girls basketball, track, cross country, obviously football. They've had some really good runs in football too as well, but just a lot of success out there. You talk about their 158-mile hike here. This is one of their shorter road trips too. So
Hooker, 2 state track championships in the last 10 years. They won it in 2015 and 2016. Had a runner-up in 28. Made it all the way to the semifinals in 2017 before being beaten by Crescent. There's a handoff to Perez. Perez finds no running room. Stop for no gain. See the score scrolling tonight. I got my eye on the Battle of the Maroons, Adam. I'm telling you. I think I hope we don't see the first score 21-0 favor of Perry, but we'll check it out. Blackwell trying to end a 13-game losing streak to Perry. Bernard rolling to his right. Well, that's a nifty move. Ooh. He is hit hard right at the 23-yard line, but got himself out of a hole.
That's one situation, too, where, obviously you like to see the play and the competitiveness from Bernard, but you definitely don't like to see him taking hits like that, obviously, with the way that he throws the ball. As we've seen, across the country in the NFL and in college, what one hit can do to a quarterback, and so it's always something you worry about.
3rd down and 7 for the Jackets. Bulldogs look like they're going to bring the linebackers, and they drop back, playing some games with the quarterback. Bernard has it batted down. Great job by the Hooker defense to get the big paws up there. Number 5 for the Bulldogs, Jackson Parker, the senior, was able to thwart that pass, and it looks like Fairview will have to punt.
Well, that's a big stop there for Hooker. You see a lot of this wind blowing in here. One of the modifications, you talked about how you hadn't been here in a while, but I don't know if you remember with the cedar trees that used to wrap around what would be the north and south end of this stadium. They had to remove them because they were growing into the track and causing the track to buckle. So that's why they had to tear them all out.
Yeah, that was a beautiful. I'm sure they hated to do that, as pretty as that was, but it's definitely allowed for a better view for these cars out here who would not have been able to be there in the past.
I think it's a good booster club opportunity, too, is what Chelsea was telling me, because I think they sell those spots.
Mm-hmm.
And so it allows you to kind of tailgate, and sit in the back of the truck. And
that's a heck of an atmosphere. 2nd series for the Bulldogs, and they only lose a couple of yards at field position here. But the Yellow Jackets have the only score of the contest and lead 7-0.
I need to give a shout-out to Cannon Harder. He's out there watching us from Yukon, Oklahoma. His dad, Matt, is a alumni of Fairview.
Another straight quarterback run. Good for a gain of about 5. Looks like expected we'd have Cleet Martins and Jax Bernard doing some battles, both sophomores, already playing important roles for their team here early on in their career. Had someone ask me earlier today if Cleet was short for Cletus. I said probably not.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's not the typical spelling, K-L-E-A-T.
Yeah.
But it's a good name for a track athlete.
Yeah, great name for, what, you wear
baseball
cleats in
player?
football?
Right.
Baseball, I guess. I don't know, do they call them cleats in football? Spikes? I don't know. Hauk looks like he's offsides.
We call them cleats in Blackwell. I mean,
okay.
There's been a lot of changes since then.
Little screenplay here.
Setting up the screen. That was read really well by Perez.
Yep.
Perez did not make the tackle, but he got that play slowed down from potentially being a really big gain. So you have to give him some credit there.
Yeah, and that allowed, like you said, Mark, he didn't make the tackle, but he allowed that second level to get there a little bit quicker. And one thing I'm impressed with Fairview is their speed across the board in the second level. They got some big kids up front that move around really well, but their skill kids got good athleticism and speed. Looks like they're bringing the house here.
Lawson Lynch on the reception. Boy, there's just no running room. That was a great job of the Fairview defensive line. I mentioned this is a big Bulldogs team.
Yeah. Well, good job by the defensive coordinator there for Fairview. That you could tell they were bringing everybody.
Lawson Lynch, no gain on the play. 4th and 3 to go. Now, the Jackets gone exclusively. You always ask me about the matchup of the uniforms tonight. Have the Jackets exclusively gone with the black? Because I kind of had in mind that maybe Fairview would have some orange gear as well.
Yeah, I mean, orange has always been obviously one of their main colors too as well. I'm a big fan of the all black. I like the script helmets too with the jackets. I'm a big fan of that also. More kind of a classical look. But, you know, Bernard even mentioned to me that a lot more orange than what he's accustomed to. So.
Ah, okay. I did not know that he was of that persuasion.
He's of that persuasion, which in this part of the country is, at least this part of Major County and most of Major County, people wear orange on Fridays and Saturdays. So.
Well, hopefully we haven't given up his secrets in that, because I know, being from a small town myself, I can tell you that at times can put a target on your back.
It can, for sure.
Martin's dropping back to pass, going for that go route again. There's a flag.
Yeah, they're going to call pass interference there.
On the 15-yard line.
It was just way too much contact there by Burris.
It was a good run by Arnold to pick up that first down. And that was a lot of contact and really good physical play in there from both sides.
Yeah, we were talking so much about the uniforms. I got a message from, we were talking about wearing orange on Saturdays, just got a message from a former classmate of mine, Andrea, was Martin's. But Andrea is watching up from Bartlesville, I'm assuming. So Reed is her nephew. She said, it's always good to hear you. I was like, I mean, that's about the first time anybody's ever said that to me. So that's a good thing to hear.
That's great. 1st and 10 from the 33, and this one is going to go on the Bulldogs. It will be false start. First penalty on Hooker.
I think Fairview may have an orange helmet too as well, or maybe they just went exclusively with the black, but they do have a lot of different color combinations when it comes to the uniforms. So back when I played, we were just straight orange helmet, no decal, black face mask, orange pants, black tops, and then I think my junior year we got all black uniforms, and that was a big deal because we went all black.
I understand the change in the uniforms. There wasn't a whole lot of uniform options back in the mid-'80s. It's just you're lucky to have a helmet.
Yeah.
They were introducing the air helmets at the time. That was a big deal. Cleet Martin's got a man going deep, and it's incomplete. Really got under a pretty heavy rush there. Was trying to find Keelan Robinson, a freshman. 6 foot, 270-pound freshman.
And he just has no time to throw. I mean, when he's throwing, he's backpedaling, and that pass rush by Fairview is dynamic. They're going to have to find some way to alter that. I like the play call with the screen earlier on, but Fairview, their linebackers read it pretty well, but they are getting uphill quick.
Handoff. Not much running room there at all. Lawson Lynch with his 4th carry. Maybe lucky to get 1. Give him a gain of 1. 3rd down and long again, 3rd and 14. Let's see what Fairview dials up here. They've had multiple formations on offense. 1 back remains in the backfield. Heavy rush, and this ball is overthrown, incomplete. And Cleet Martins has started the game 1 of 4 passing. His only connection for a couple of yards here. And see what Trevor Powers decides to do here. Punt, last time net gain of about 22 yards. This one would be 19 if it went into the end zone. Looks like they are going to try to decide to punt. Sometimes I don't think you think about on fourth down. We might go the other way, on a big sack, especially the way that Fairview rushes this. So punt is, I've been taught this before, I think it's true. Punt is not a bad play.
That was a good little punt there. This guy can make things happen on punt returns.
It's Perez. Or excuse me, that was not Perez.
That was Burris.
My bad, Burris.
Yep.
Burris on the return. Don't be afraid to tell me I'm wrong. It was out to the 12-yard line, and that is good field position. There's a flag on the field at the 30, so we'll see what the officials decide to do. It's holding against the defense, and that could cost Fairview a little bit more. So I think Trevor Powers would be plenty happy with the result of him deciding to punt this football. Our referee tonight is Peter Abernathy. Our umpire is Jeff Gose. The linesman is Gary Guthrie. The line judge is Chris Park. And the back judge is Brian Sapp. And I feel compelled to say that if you're listening tonight and feel like, hey, I missed the Friday Night Lights and part of high school football, then contact somebody in the local officials association. They'd love to have you.
No doubt.
They'll make sure that you get acclimated. They're not going to throw you out in the middle of a barn burner rivalry game on your first night out. So, and listen, it's more than just Friday nights. You can work Tuesday, Thursday, JV Monday. We just need officials in the state.
Well said, Mark.
Handoff, and that is Perez. Love the way that both teams are fighting in the interior. Just every yard gained is hard-earned.
Fairview had a lot of success on the drive before or after their first drive running that stretch play with Perez to see if Bernard goes back to it. Seems like anything they're trying to run inside with their counter or any of their trap stuff is not working nearly as well, but the outside stuff seemed to work better.
Bernard. And looked like it was just not quite in sync. There was movement or perhaps delay a game.
I guess the first time was right.
Not everyone was on the same page with the snap. Move it back to the 3-yard line. Got to be careful here if you're Fairview, who has jumped out to the early lead.
So one thing that I have a hard time adjusting to is the soccer fields across the way. So which has been a long time ago, but I don't think we realized soccer was a sport in Fairview when I lived here. Which I like soccer. Just
Perez is into the open, got a block, and has turned the corner and is all the way out to the 35-yard line. That is the way to get out of trouble in a hurry. Takes it from the 3 to the 35. It's a 2-yard gain, or 32-yard gain for Blake Perez.
And Fairview wants to go quick. I mean, they're not even allowing Hooker to sub. I know Coach Menard told me that in the week off they were working on that. You want to talk about, that's so difficult to do. I mean, we see these teams do it in the collegiate level, but at this level, not only do you have to be in great shape, but you also got to be very disciplined, and it puts a ton of stress on the defense too. There's that outside zone play. Perez did a good job of cutting back.
Perez did a good job of cutting back, but also equally good defense played by Fabian Castaneda for Hooker to stop him before he could get to the outside where there was plenty more running room. So 3rd down at 10.
Looks like a full start.
Bernard finds his man, but not for much. Reed Martin's on the reception.
What if Bernard will go for it here? I would think with the way they're playing defense, it's like that spot you talked about. How well are you going to punt it, especially into the wind? The wind, look, it's still blowing a little. So
well, they can change field position here. They'll let the clock run out, so they would potentially have a big benefit of that play lasting the way that it did. It's been a heck of a first quarter. Glad you're along with us here on the Squirtle Game of the Week. We'll take a break. We'll come back. Fairview facing a 4th down and 8 and a decision.
The thing with car buying nowadays is just how many options there are when it comes to where to actually get a car. Dealerships, websites, auctions, private sellers, and so on. But knowing exactly where to get your car loan makes it all much less stressful. That's where Communication Federal can help. There's a reason we're known for auto loans around here. Lots of car options, lots of places to buy, but only one choice for an auto loan. Communication Federal Credit Union.
Electricity, that's what we've been about since 1936. Since then, Cimarron's mission of bringing electricity to its members has been nothing short of successful. But over the years, it's become more than that. It's about powering our neighbors' heating in the winter, keeping the lights on at the ball field, and keeping your phones charged to capture those special moments.
Welcome back. I think Hooker called a timeout, Adam, and made Fairview punt into the wind. This is still a pretty good punt.
Yeah, it is.
And we'll go and roll down at the 26-yard line. So both coaches are kind of grinding on this one here a little bit early. That's I don't hate that timeout in the first half.
Yeah, that was smart. Obviously, like you said, make them punt into the wind, because that was the question that we had, but a heck of a punt.
You know what? Let's take another break.
Let's
pay the sponsors. Oh, we like that. The quarter we thought was over is now really over. We'll be back on the Squirtle Game of the Week right after this.
Dr. Matt Dieselhorst at Dieselhorst Sports and Orthopedics can help you get game day ready. Dr. Dieselhorst works with athletes of all ages, taking a coordinated approach to accelerate return to play and maximize athletic performance. His work with pros in sports training, injury prevention, bracing, functional rehabilitation, and imaging works seamlessly with his medical and surgical expertise. Get started by going to Dieselhorst Sports and Orthopedics. Let Dr. Matt Dieselhorst get you back on the field, backing all Oklahoma athletes on the field and off.
Are you looking for a local, reliable propane provider? Earnhardt Oil and Propane has been serving customers throughout Oklahoma since 1971. Let them tailor a pricing option to fit your budget. Avoid winter price spikes with easy pay, steady, predictable monthly payments you can count on. Need more fuel options? They also offer bulk fuel delivery, DEF, lubricants, and supplies for your business, all at competitive prices. For reliability 3 generations strong, call Earnhardt Oil and Propane at 866-270-1279 or visit www.earnhardtpropane.com.
All right, Hooker will have it here, 1st and 10 as we begin the second quarter from their own 27-yard line. The Bulldogs have lined up in a lot of different formations, and they really do look like they're content to try to run the football. Fairview is not allowing much running room so far tonight. That is a handoff to Lawson Lynch. He's done most of the work on the ground for the Bulldogs. Gain of 4 for Lynch, and it brings up 2nd and 6. He said, we've got a really good crowd here tonight.
Band's getting in trouble for playing during the play.
Can't have fun anymore. That's no good. Another handoff to Lynch, and he is stopped. May even have given back half of his previous gain. See where they mark it.
And that's the kicker, Pettis. We talked about him earlier on.
I don't think he identifies as a kicker, though, Adam. I think in these days and age, it
I'm
wouldn't be fair to call him that. I don't think so. I don't think that's how we would prefer to be referred to. 3rd down and 6. That's motion from Lynch. Cleet Martins throws this one wide up in the air. Oh, my goodness. That hit at least 3 Yellow Jacket defenders. That was not the definition of a spiral either. 4th down and 6 to go.
Boy, and that's one thing you're going to see. Obviously, him struggling anytime they try to drop back and throw. He just does not look good here early, which, Fairview is showing early on. You can't be one-dimensional against them.
Martins has started the game 1 for 5 for 2 yards. And Fairview has put an extreme amount of pressure on him.
Well, I'm going to say it because you didn't say it. How about those Blackwell Maroons already up 6-0? Uh-oh.
Snap over the head of the punter. And he is going to get a little bit of yardage back, but that is a costly special teams play. Arnold call that a loss of 7 and not just a typical loss of 7 for the Bulldogs. 4th down with the punt over his head, and Fairview is set up here with excellent field position.
Well, huge mistake. And in games like this, obviously you can't make those types of mistakes. And I have a feeling Fairview's going to punch it in here. That's kind of team we've seen them be over the years. Anytime you make a mistake, Fairview's going to make you pay for it.
Bernard, handoff, and it's Perez. Not a lot of running room, as this Hooker defensive front has been pretty solid all night long. Second down and 8 to go.
Here's that stretch play they like.
Just block the man in front of you and let Perez make those cuts. He's able to push this down close to the yard marker. Sticks, I think, just a yard short. It'll be a gain of 7. Bernard and the Yellow Jackets opened this game in the opening drive by throwing the football down the field. I think in an attempt to try to loosen up the front of that defense, and have been very consistent with the run ever since. 3rd and 1 to go. Handoff goes to the running back. And it's a nice gain, and for the first down, Isaiah Burris came in motion. It's a good job by one of the Fairview wide receivers that came across, perhaps trying to throw a block. Couldn't tell if that was perhaps Martin's.
It was.
That did not get a critical block in the back.
I was worried there for a second. We had an official down. We had an official get hurt last week. It was going to be the 2nd week in a row. Had one take a tumble down here on the side.
Fake to Burris.
Nice
throws. Ball. And it is off the hands of the intended receiver. And we've got a flag in the area, which could either be a pick or could possibly be a pass interference on the defense. I think probably the latter. And it's none of the above. Holding. Come on in. Holding on the Jackets will cost him 10 yards. That we'd be happy to make an announcement for the Boy Scouts performance tonight. We do it on worldwide streaming. Squirtle Game of the Week. Exposure outside the stadium.
Nice run.
Perez just shedding tacklers, and he's in for the touchdown. That was a heck of a run from Perez. He's had 3 tonight of 15 or more, and he goes in for the touchdown. And the Jackets capitalize on the mistake with the snap over the punter's head and now have a 13-0 lead.
Well, and Puge, after the penalty, obviously Fairview capitalizes on the muffed punt, and now you go up 2 scores.
Extra point with the wind is good. Second touchdown of the night for Perez, and Fairview, with 8:41 to go in the first half, has a 14-0 lead over the Hooker Bulldogs. We'll take a quick break and come back here on the Squirtle Game of the Week.
Since 1962, the Eitzen Agency has delivered quality insurance solutions to you, your family, and your business. You'll find homeowners, auto, business, and life insurance, and they specialize in church insurance. But there's something else. They haven't forgotten their small-town roots for friendliness and courtesy, and they are committed to helping you find a policy that fits your needs. At the Eitzen Agency, they'll work with you to ensure that you and those you care about the most are protected. Call 580-227-2553 for the Eitzen Agency, 102 South Main in Fairview.
The High Plains Insurance Agency takes pride in keeping up with many changes in the crop insurance industry and keeping their insurers informed of these changes. The goal is to help each farmer customize their crop insurance to meet their needs. Thanks for your continued business. And remember, call Amy, Carissa, or Danny at High Plains Insurance in Medford and Loyal at 580-395-2447 or toll free at 1-800-346-4056 for a quote today.
Welcome back. We're kind of a clearinghouse here in the press box. We've relayed several important messages tonight.
Yeah.
They did chopper in the game ball earlier this evening, which you got a chance to see if you were tuned in at the time. We coordinated that. We've also allowed several wonderful treats into the press box tonight, and also set up the halftime entertainment, which will be coming from the band and the Boy Scouts, I believe. So that
we are center of attention tonight. We've got a lot going on out here at Fairview.
Facility is beautiful.
It is.
You say it's been here for a long period of time, and
it has
had some facelifts over the years.
Yeah.
New gym here as well.
Yeah, and that's actually an indoor facility that has 2 full courts, and the community also can use it too as well. It's got an indoor track inside of it also.
So no basketball games in there.
Yeah, so they play some Little League stuff, and
Yeah.
Coach Barton runs his summer camps there, and it's pretty nice. You know, not a lot of Class A, Class 2A towns have 3 wooden full-court basketball courts. So
not at all. And Cleet Martins carries the football for a gain of about 5. I'll tell you this, one thing that just is incredibly impressive for me, for a Class A school, Fairview's participation would line up with many Class 4A schools. They have a ton of kids out for football. Hooker has a good representation, but still pales in comparison. About 15 more players for Fairview suited up tonight.
yeah, you know, Fairview is a community that was consistently for years in Class 2A, and you know, over the last 5 to 6 years, they've dropped down into Class A, which kind of puts them at the top of A, but they were always kind of at the bottom of 2A. So
back to pass, incomplete.
And we talked about it on the Pick'em show the other night when you mentioned, you know, Fairview playing in the same district as Deer Creek and Piedmont and Bethany and Heritage Hall and Millwood, and that was districts for years here from, you know, 1995 through, you know, probably 2006-ish, and then that's kind of when Fairview's enrollment did start to go down and they dropped to Class A, and so that's kind of where they've been since.
Pass is complete. Braxton Burge with the reception, but great pursuit from the Fairview defense. I think will keep him
just short
from picking up the first down. This is really close. It's hard to tell at the angle that where we are. I think this one could possibly get a measurement. It just needs to be on the 30-yard line. There's not a whole lot to determine here.
They're going to go ahead and measure it, like you said.
Well, this brings up a pretty tough decision here. I'm sure you think, hey, look, you know, we move it this far, we keep possession. You also have to factor in punting into the wind. But, boy, to hand it back to the Yellow Jackets on this part of the field, and I don't know why they measured that. That's a full yard short. The ball started on the 20-yard line after the kick, so we'll see here how it goes.
Well, and this would be interesting to see. I mean, any time that Hooker's been in this power formation, look to maybe see them try to run. Ooh, they just went straight dive up the middle.
And where he's standing, the line judge, first down, it would be a gain of 2.
Well, that was a good play call there, because any other time Fairview's kind of had the outside edges stacked with how they're blitzing.
This is how good the Fairview defense has been tonight against Lynch. He's carried it 7 times, but has not had a run longer than 4 yards.
It's impressive. They've been really good. I've been really impressed with them up front.
These are some incredibly tight splits. And nothing there. Nothing there. First man through for the stop, number 51, Bowden Miller.
Well, he read that. You could tell he watched some film this week, too, because he was right there at the line of scrimmage. Great play there by Miller.
It's interesting that the two ends for Hooker are not huddling. They just stay out there in a stance. Not much running room there either for Lynch. Just gain of 1. Arnold with the carry on that play.
And that's a situation, too, on film that Lynch is going to see. If he would have actually bounced that play a little wider out towards us on this side of the field, he would have got some yardage, but he tried to cut it up in tight. Fairview's got the inside of that defense. It's tough to get through right now.
Fairview's non-district wins coming over Hobart, Alva, Chisholm was the other non-district win, so 2 2A teams. Martins makes a couple guys miss, and he's got some running room. He's out and has the first down and gets out of bounds after a gain of about 12. That's a great run by Martins, who avoided potential disaster and a sack 5 yards deep in his backfield.
And that goes back to the old philosophy a lot of times, too. You know, last year Hooker had the big quarterback that liked to throw the ball around, and Martins was their kind of little scat back. And you got to put your best athlete normally at quarterback and try to get him into space, and great example there.
Moves it up to the 43 for the first down. Hooker will go back to the ground game, and the handoff goes to Martins, or actually Martins with the keeper. Tackle made by the junior for the Jackets, Tegan Gilchrist.
I believe Tegan had been hurt throughout the year, too, so I think he's just now playing again. I think he was injured earlier on in the year.
Yeah, just play the what-if game tonight. If Fairview, say, was in Class 2A, they'd probably be in that 2A1 pairing, and basically right now would already have 2 wins over that district. So
it's accurate.
Not a lot of difference between some of the better teams in small classes or really any classifications here in the state. We'll take a timeout. 2nd down and 8 to go from the 45. Hooker trying to get back in this one, trailing 14-0, 2:30 to go in the first half.
With over 24 flavors of iced tea, HTO is your new destination for the best premium water and iced tea in all of Oklahoma. Offering around 500 drink combinations and half-price tea during happy hour, this is your ultimate tea playground. With a location open in Ardmore and numerous locations coming soon, including the Village in South Oklahoma City, be sure to stop by HTO and experience the best tea you've ever sipped on.
At Maples Nixon Diesel Horse, we've helped a lot of people, and our goal was to treat each and every person like a friend. And as a friend, we've got your back, always. We understand what you're going through. Being lawyers is what we do, but it's not all that we are. We care. We'll stand beside you throughout the entire legal process, not just as lawyers, but as your friends. We are Maples Nixon Diesel Horse, and we are here to help.
2nd down and 8. Martins pass caught short of the first down. Braxton Burge is on the receiving end. It's Burge's 2nd reception. And so another critical 3rd or 4th down play here for the Bulldogs. Break the bone, slots and receivers to each side. Martins calls his own number. Nice. He's going nowhere. Stopped in the backfield by Caden Pettis. Another stop by Pettis, who's playing a heck of a game tonight.
Not the kicker.
Not
Pettis.
The kicker. The sometimes kicker, the part-time kicker, full-time defensive end.
That was big time.
Caden Pettis.
I like the play call there. I like keeping the ball in the hands of Cleet Martins if you're Hooker. But, man, Fairview up front. Pick your poison, right? Come run this way towards Houck if you want to. See how successful that is.
That's awfully difficult, I think, for teams to – you really can't try to scheme this defense with the edge being so well defended on either side.
You give a shout-out to my old coach watching from New Mexico, Coach Van Meter. is watching, pulling for the Jackets. He's a big Jacket fan.
Final time out of the half for Hooker. We've added some time to the clock since I can't read very well. And it's 4:19 to go here in the first half. Hooker facing a decision. 4th and 4 from midfield. We'll be right back here on the Squirtle Game of the Week.
Dr. Devin Nightingale is your chiropractic choice in North Edmond with easy access from Cashion, Guthrie, Luther, and all the Oklahoma City surrounding areas. As a former college athlete, Dr. Nightingale understands the importance of a fully functioning body to gain that competitive edge. Also certified in prenatal and pediatric treatments, Dr. Nightingale sees all types of patients, ranging from 2 weeks old to 97 years old. We offer conservative treatments to get you back in the game, whether you're a weekend warrior or a professional athlete. So give us a call at 405-471-5565 for a free consultation today.
Back to school. Now your worries about the kids going over on their data plans are back. Mom and Dad, this is for you. Right now, make the switch to Pioneer's unlimited data plans. Don't let data overages and high cell phone bills be something you stress about this school year. We have a plan for everyone.
Here we go. Big play for the Bulldogs. 4th down and 4 to go.
Oh, wow.
And there is no room on either end of this Fairview gauntlet. The defensive front has come to play tonight. And no running room at all. And the ball goes over to the Yellow Jackets on downs.
It looked like Hooker liked what they had there, but, man, there was nothing doing. You got to get your guy blocked in front of you. And Fairview's, about a yard in the backfield every time.
And here's a familiar spot on the field for the Jackets.
Nice.
Pass play behind the intended receiver, thrown for Brant Strader.
I was talking about my old coach. In fact, I look at this bottle, and that's a great day to be a Jacket. I mean, I know a lot of people probably say something like that, but that was kind of his tagline. I don't know if they put that on there because of him, but he said that a lot.
Now, did he retire like on a trout farm in New Mexico on royalties from that?
No, he lives here in Fairview. He just happens to be out there. And I believe he's playing golf, so he's a big golfer.
Nice. Perez is hit for a couple-yard loss, but racking up the carries.
He's as good of a motivator as you've ever seen and or been around. He is an impressive coach, too, as well.
Jackets are going to decide to go quickly here, and this one's going to go deep. Intended, and there's a flag on the play. That looked like, I thought, both players really doing a good job of fighting for the football. Isaiah Burris was the intended receiver.
I don't know if I'd be surprised if they called pass interference here, unless they're calling it because the corner stopped in front of Burris to slow his route down. But
wow,
they're calling it Fairview.
Well, I don't like that play either. That call either way.
Yeah.
Again, to me, both players were fighting for the football. I think we've seen some really good coverage on some of these deep passes tonight.
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah, Bernard has got a really good arm. He let loose on that thing.
They will decline the penalty. And so it's 4th down and 9 to go.
Yeah, and I like Bernard's call here. I mean, I know he is he's a big offensive-minded guy, but when you got a 2-score lead and your defense is playing the way it is, and you got that win behind you, you could pin them back pretty easily here.
That's a great kick.
Man.
High in the air. And it's got a little bit of spin on it. And it's spinning and spinning and spinning, and it went into the end zone for a touchback. I still think that is a pretty good net punt there of 32 yards.
So a little fun fact about Robert. Robert actually punted at Southwestern. So all-state basketball player, too, as well. He could put up the 3. There wasn't a spot on the floor that he was afraid to shoot from also, just to let you know.
That's outstanding.
Yeah.
That was a good player for Hollis.
Yes, he was. You had that picture in one of your books, remember?
That's right. He appeared and was misidentified in the 1998 Pigskin Preview. And he shares that distinction with several other people because the editor at the time was a young guy that didn't do very well in college. So 1st and 10.
Man.
And again, trying the edge of that defense. And
Miller.
once again, just great play over there. Pettis, Miller. Miller's been tough all night long.
So Bowden Miller, his mom is Amy Guffey, whose sister was Angie Guffey that played at OU from Ringwood down the road. And Amy was quite a basketball player in her own right, too, as well.
Martin's back to pass, and this one is picked off. Threw it up in the air, and a great defensive play by the Jacket corner. We've seen excellent pass coverage all night, and Isaiah Burris comes up with the interception.
And you kind of saw that happening. Burris, you talked about the great coverage by him all night long, and, man, he kind of tried to make it a little too hard on himself, though. But, man, what a heck of a pick there. Fairview's right back where they want. Great field position.
Fairview just put a lot of pressure on this Hooker defense, which just remains pretty stout here throughout the first quarter. Bernard, deep pass, caught, and can't elude the defender there. Reed Martin's on the reception. It's a gain of 12.
It just shows Bernard's arm strength there.
Yeah, that's a tough throw to make. That pass was a dangerous pass thrown out a little bit in front of the intended receiver. Martin slowed down, I thought, a little bit. 2nd and 10 coming up. Bernard is 5 of 10 through the air for 57 yards. Just keeping the defense honest. It has been Blake Perez doing much of the work for the Jackets offense. Perez has it again.
Nice cut.
Maneuvering inside, outside, picking up a gain of 3. Bernard under heavy rush. Great pickup by Perez on the block, and there goes Bernard showing his speed at the 15, making a move at the 10, at the 5. Can he get to the end zone? No, he gets to the 1, but what an individual effort by Bernard. A great pickup by Perez to keep him from getting sacked and absolutely drilled in the backfield, and Bernard takes it 32 yards for a 1st and goal. What a play.
Now, he didn't get those wheels from his dad. I can tell you that much. That might have been from Mama.
Fairview starting to pile up the rushing yards. And a penalty will cost him 5. Move it back from the 3 to the 8. Bernard with 2 carries for 35 yards.
It's almost like they're more comfortable if they get a little more room to operate that offense.
You have to give a lot of credit to the Hooker defensive front. They've been solid up there. Jackets have gone over 100-yard rushing. Perez gets the handoff. Perez faked me out, and Bernard scores a touchdown. Great run, great effort. Bernard scores from 8 yards out. And the Jackets extend their lead to 20-0.
Well, and a great job by Bernard. I mean, obviously, you get so much of Perez and have to obviously pay attention to him because he's breaking tackles and busting long runs, and now you see the weapon that Bernard can be, obviously, if you pay too much attention to Perez. Missed it. Extra
point is no good. It had plenty of leg. Just missed to the outside. I thought there may have been some movement there on the front of the defensive line, but no penalties. 20-0. 2:05 to go in the first half. We'll take a break, come back with more here on the Squirtle Game of the Week.
Back to school. Now your worries about the kids going over on their data plans are back. Mom and Dad, this is for you. Right now, make the switch to Pioneer's unlimited data plans. Don't let data overages and high cell phone bills be something you stress about this school year. We have a plan for everyone. Let Pioneer handle your worries by stopping at a local office today to learn how you can save. Visit gopioneer.com for details. Some restrictions may apply.
For over 50 years, Tulsa Tech has helped people find new career paths, jobs, and a successful future. We've partnered with Tulsa businesses to grow our economy and help train the workforce of our community. During these uncertain times, one thing is for sure. Tulsa Tech will be here when life returns to normal, helping people make their own path. We will get through this together.
Welcome back, 20-0 in favor of the Fairview Yellow Jackets. And this ball goes deep, and see what Hooker can do with this. We got a nice little play running. It's a heck of an individual effort by the Bulldogs. That could have been absolute disaster before Trace Duncan, the sophomore, picked it up and brought it all the way back out to the 38-yard line.
Well, that's just a situation where Pettis got into one, and the coverage outran it. Burris did a good job of tracking him down.
So the return for Trace Duncan from the 3 all the way out to the 39. 1 minute and 52 seconds to go in the first half, and an opportunity for Hooker here to try to get back into the ballgame. Drop back from Martins.
Ooh.
He has just not had the accuracy tonight. He's now 3 for 9 with an interception.
Yeah, it's been difficult for them to get anything in the passing game, obviously.
Second and 10 for the Bulldogs. Screen pass dropped.
That was a play, too. That was going to be there, Mark.
Not often do you see that type of screen pass where it comes from a receiver with the lineman rolling out to kind of create some space for him. But sometimes when you got all those big guys out in front, you think, how far can I run, and forget to make the catch.
Yeah, that's just a freshman, too. He's a big, good-looking athlete. 6'2", 170, Keelan Robinson.
That was not the fault of Martins. Martins gets past Perez and fights and fights and fights, yet still for only a gain of a couple.
Well, Fairview's done such a good job of stretching that at any time Martins tries to get to the edge. It's just way too much speed.
Fourth down and 8. We'll see how aggressive Coach Bernard wants to be here after this punt. That is a missile. That looked like the kickoff of the opening portion of the game. And Isaiah Burris said I did not touch that. Hooker trying to lobby the official over there to perhaps get a turnover. There's one thing we know. This will not go to the booth for a replay.
They're going to give it to Hooker.
They do give it to Hooker. Wow, that is an interesting play. Burris had his hand out there, and the ball was coming at such a fast rate, but I would have thought really if he had touched it, he might have tried to go get it instead of just trying to perhaps deke the official that he didn't. But
Well,
credit to Hooker for selling their end of the bargain.
And usually if the official makes a call like that, they're a little more a matter of fact about it. I can see Bernard is not happy about that, which I don't blame him.
Yeah, he's going to at least have a word with the official there. Well, this is a big momentum swing. And that punt works out well for Hooker, who will have the football at the, let's see, they'll have it, what, they're inside
23.
about the 24-yard line. Let's take a look at some of the other scores we got going around the state. Missing the red zone tonight. Sure they're doing a great job.
We had to replace a game on the show tonight because the network at Luther, they had some kids that were sick, so we picked up the Alva-Millwood game.
Chisholm and Newkirk got a good game going at 20-16.
Look at that Minko. Minko's up on Cashin 14-0.
Perry took the lead over Blackwell 7-6. Minko ahead of Cashin 14-0.
Yep.
Luther on top of Crossing 7-0.
Wow.
It's a game that we had picked on the Pick'em show.
Oh, double pass. Got him.
Pass is incomplete. Wow, that was a great throw by Braxton Burge. And a personal foul roughing the passer is called, and that's an interesting call because it can't be roughing the passer on the second passer. It could be on the quarterback.
Yeah, it could be a personal foul. I mean, I don't know. I think they called it on Houck, too. Houck got a really big shot in there.
Well, Houck would have gotten back there really, really quickly if it was hitting Martins on that penalty.
Yeah, he hit the wide receiver. They ran a double pass.
And they called the roughing on the receiver?
Yeah, yeah.
That
Interesting. I don't know if that's actually a thing, is it?
It's not. You can't do that. I mean, the ball carrier is can't. I don't think.
He's open game, right?
I think so. We'll have to find out because I'm not going to say that these guys don't know those rules. I'm sure they do. Pass complete from Martins to Burge.
Well, I think Burge may have been out of bounds. It's hard to tell over on that side of the field. I do like what they're doing, getting Martins on the move, though. I think they're going to have to do that with Fairview's pass rush.
Yeah, and I think he's a little more comfortable doing that. And he's presents more of a threat because he really can run it.
Totally agree.
Second down and 10 from the 14. Adam was right on top of that. Ball was out of bounds. Martins steps into it. He's got his man Burge, and it is dropped. That was excellent coverage coming over from the corner position. Great job by Isaiah Burris, I believe. Bryce Ramey also there.
And being a Fairview guy, that is pronounced Ramey.
Ramey.
Yes.
Thank you.
You bet. It's a high school with his dad. That's dating me.
No one in the backfield with Martins. Again, trying to go across the middle. And
Coverage
again, a ball that's right there that is dropped. Braxton Burge, the intended receiver, it hit him right in the stomach and falls to the ground incomplete. So Coach Powers has got to be thinking, what do we got to do to put this one in the end zone?
It's just great coverage again. I mean, obviously, good ball, good throw. You got to catch the ball, like you said, Mark. I mean, if it, but Ramey is doing a good job, obviously, contesting the throw. He's allowing the receiver to get inside of him. It would be interesting to see if they can hold the block long enough if they don't try to throw the ball to the corner over here, like a corner out of some kind. Like, I think they'd have a lot better opportunity with something like that.
Ramey, a junior, has been in on several good plays in this series. There's another one going into the corner of the end zone. This one is caught, and it is a touchdown. The receiving Keelan Robinson, the freshman, who had that screen pass set up perfectly earlier, eventually gets the last laugh with the touchdown.
The old swinging gate.
And the extra point is up and off the scoreboard. No good. So it's 20-6, and I believe really all the yardage acquired on that drive was the 8-yard touchdown pass because it was a penalty that moved the football most of the distance there, or all of it. So not much time remaining here in the first half. We've got a minute and 2 seconds. It's Fairview on top of Hooker 20-6, but the Bulldogs were shut out and punting the football before a costly mistake allowed them to have the possession at the 7-yard line.
Big answer there by Hooker. I mean, Fairview has absolutely controlled this game, but Hooker needed an answer, and that was huge. And with just a minute left to go in the first half, be big for Hooker if they can get a stop here also and go into halftime only down a couple scores.
A little better kick for the Bulldogs.
Burris is a threat.
He's got some speed.
Ooh, that's a block in the back.
And everybody's throwing the flags at the same time. So this one will come back, fly at the 32-yard line, but you could really tell that you're right. Burris has some wheels.
I know the fans didn't like it, but it was very obvious from up here in our perch that that was a block in the back for sure.
Fairview has been penalized quite a few times tonight.
Yeah, it hasn't been
penalty number 6.
Yeah, it hasn't been an overly clean game either way. I feel like Hooker's had quite a few penalties too. I mean, yeah, once they get inside the 5, they get a penalty every time. Fairview does. It's like just kind of part of their strategy maybe.
That's right. You mentioned it spaced the field a little bit better for them.
Well, Fairview, with the way they run offense and the way they play, I mean, 53 seconds is an eternity because they play so quick.
I've been impressed with the discipline of being able to get back to the line of scrimmage. You're exactly right about that, Adam. That is fantastic coaching to have them that disciplined to do it. Bernard has a man and a gain of 12. That's Burris. Burris' 3rd reception. Got 3 for 27. Bernard back to pass. Beautiful deep ball.
Yeah, I think Burris needs a break. He looks pretty tired.
Yeah, with the run of the kickoff and then that deep route.
He's had himself a good night, too.
He's getting a two-way Gatorade action, getting a little on the back of the neck and some to drink as well. Bernard has a man open, throws behind, a great catch, a nice adjustment, and really a pretty good throw on the catch. Austin Howe, tight end, gets his first reception of the evening and a gain of 12. Just like that, the Jackets are moving the ball. 30 seconds, clock running. Bernard can take off on his own.
To get out of bounds, good job.
And does get out of bounds. Gain of 3. Four carries on the ground for Bernard for 46 and a touchdown. Rolling to his right, he's got backside pressure. And,
nice
wow,
throw.
That's a good catch. See where they mark this. The 33, that's a gain of about 17. Martin's on the receiving end, his 3rd. So Bernard has done a great job of spreading this around to different receivers.
Well, I mean, it's not out of their comfort zone. I mean, and Bernard has made some tough throws in this drive here. There's still almost 18 seconds to go here in this half. That's at least 2 more plays, possibly 3.
Rolling to his right. That was an impressive toss, as you mentioned. On the run, very accurate.
Check out that Blackwell Perry game. What do we got going on there?
Well, I was actually transitioning here to some Class A scores. Perry has now scored again. It's 14-6. The Maroons could be in a little bit of trouble now after giving up back-to-back scores.
Here's a couple interesting scores. Luther is up 14-0. Veneta is all over Pawhuska, 26-8.
It's an interesting game. That's teams that I'm sure have a history, but it's Veneta coming down from 3A and Pawhuska moving up from Class A.
There's a little double pass there. That's what they were looking for.
Looked like it was going to be a double pass. And again, if the play really isn't there, no need to try to do anything spectacular at this time of the half. So Fairview will call a timeout. That's a reception for no gain.
Here's a game that's a little bit of a surprise. Washington only leads Frederick 12-7 at halftime.
You know, that Washington team, and we'd mentioned, is perhaps played a little bit below projections, and I'm not sure if it's an injury situation with them or what exactly may be going on.
I would agree with you. A few other scores here of interest. Hennessy right down the road leads OCS 15-14. And you talked about Chisholm. Chisholm's in a battle. Be nice to see them get a W. They are down 24-20 to Newkirk.
Bernard back to pass. Has a man again. Throwing that deep out route. That is impressive.
There's still 3 seconds left.
It's a 22-yard pass. Martin's taking over as the leading receiver for the Jackets. He's got 54 on 4 grabs. First and 10. Definitely within field goal range here if they would like to try that. But I believe they're going to go for the end zone.
I'd look out for Hauk over the middle, in the middle of the field.
One play at the end of the first half to see if the Jackets can get into the end zone. Hauk did go down the middle of the field, and they're going to go to the end zone, and they're going to have an untimed down. That'll be pass interference on the Bulldogs. Jackson Arnold with too much contact as they were fighting for the football. I think that's Martin's down there right at the goal line. So this one will be a 10-yard penalty, I believe, in high school, and they'll have an untimed down.
He placed at the 5. I'll look for Perez here.
He's been so successful on the ground. Bernard looking over the middle. What a pass. Looked to his left and knew who was going to be rolling across the middle. And a great play, and what a drive. What a drive for Fairview. Brant Strader on the reception from 5 yards away, his second of the first half. Extra point is no good.
Oh, it's good.
It is good. That extra point I don't think ever got above 12 feet. It is good.
It's only got to get as high as the bottom bar, right?
We have reached halftime here in Fairview. Eubanks Field 27-6. The Jackets lead the Bulldogs. And we will see you for the third quarter. Check out all the scores in our ticker above. And it should be a great Friday night of football. And we'll have an exciting second half coming up next.
This is Game Time. Neptune Game Time creates a high-energy game day atmosphere that your players and fans will love. Every song in our database is 100% lyric safe, which means you can stop screening music for good. Game Time also provides custom messaging to help you promote your upcoming events, concessions, and event-specific announcements. And it gives you the opportunity to sell sponsorships on your station that will generate revenue for your athletic department. Amp up your game day with Game Time.
For generations, the FFA has been helping our children through agriculture to grow into responsible adults. We believe in and we support the work being done by our local FFA chapters and all they do to create an enriching experience for our youth. For all you do, you have our thanks. Farm Credit of Enid. Together, we grow. Is your school or booster club looking for ways to fundraise? Let Downtown Threads create a custom website to showcase all your school apparel. You pick the design and the garment, we do the rest. We will handle all the payments and cut you one check when the website is closed. Call today, 580-237-7060. Downtown Threads, proudly supporting all local high school athletes.
Ready to get back in the game? Great news. The movement experts at Physical Therapy Central can help you find relief and results and keep you off the sidelines. With over 30 convenient locations across Oklahoma City and beyond, contact PT Central today at ptcentral.org to see a physical therapist.
It's time to stop worrying about what's for dinner. Whether you're planning an event or just need meals at your doorstep, let Devlin prepare and deliver fresh food wherever and whenever you need it. Choose from our variety of fresh catering and prepped meals and enjoy the delicious, nutritious food you deserve. Do what you do best while Devlin takes care of the rest. Visit devlinllc.com to see what we can do for you.
Scott Streller and team have been proudly serving the Edmond community for over 30 years. At the Streller Agency, we take pride in offering premier service and the highest quality insurance available: auto, home, life, and more. Our award-winning team has over 150 years combined experience to offer, and we're always working hard to make sure you never have to worry and always have peace of mind. So call or visit StrellerAgency.com today for your custom quote.
Imagine a school with more than 26,000 enrollments per year, cultivating opportunities for students to develop new skills and gain industry-recognized certification. Now imagine a corporate training center that partners with more than 500 local businesses each year, providing a productive and prepared workforce for employers in Oklahoma through customized training. Now, imagine a community resource who believes our business thrives when our community thrives. We aren't just the local VOTEC, we are Autry Technology Center.
Are you looking for a bank that provides excellent security and safety for your account information? Then Bank Central is made for you. When you use our website, bcna.com, you can pay bills, check account balances, download statements, and even manage your debit card. With our mobile app, you can do all that, plus make deposits as easily as taking a picture with your phone. Talk to a CSR at any of our 6 locations to find the products that work best for your banking needs. At Bank Central, we're centered on you. Member FDIC.
This is your moment. You've got what it takes. The grit to get from first steps to finishing touches. You're here to train, to put in the hours. Because today's hard work gives you an edge. To get higher, to earn more, to fine-tune a future to be proud of. Career Tech. Get skilled, get paid.
The thing with car buying nowadays is just how many options there are when it comes to where to actually get a car. Dealerships, websites, auctions, private sellers, and so on. But knowing exactly where to get your car loan makes it all much less stressful. That's where Communication Federal can help. There's a reason we're known for auto loans around here. Lots of car options, lots of places to buy, but only one choice for an auto loan. Communication Federal Credit Union.
Electricity, that's what we've been about since 1936. Since then, Cimarron's mission of bringing electricity to its members has been nothing short of successful. But over the years, it's become more than that. It's about powering our neighbors' heating in the winter, keeping the lights on at the ball field, and keeping your phones charged to capture those special moments. We are proud to be part of your community. Thank you for being part of Cimarron for all of these years.
Dr. Matt Dieselhorst at Dieselhorst Sports and Orthopedics can help you get game day ready. Dr. Dieselhorst works with athletes of all ages, taking a coordinated approach to accelerate return to play and maximize athletic performance. His work with pros in sports training, injury prevention, bracing, functional rehabilitation, and imaging works seamlessly with his medical and surgical expertise. Get started by going to Dieselhorst Sports and Orthopedics. Let Dr. Matt Dieselhorst get you back on the field, backing all Oklahoma athletes on the field and off.
Are you looking for a local, reliable propane provider? Earnhardt Oil and Propane has been serving customers throughout Oklahoma since 1971. Let them tailor a pricing option to fit your budget. Avoid winter price spikes with easy pay, steady, predictable monthly payments you can count on. Need more fuel options? options, they also offer bulk fuel delivery, DEF, lubricants, and supplies for your business, all at competitive prices. For reliability 3 generations strong, call Earnhardt Oil and Propane at 866-270-1279 or visit www.earnhardtpropane.com.
Since 1962, the Eitzen Agency has delivered quality insurance solutions to you, your family, and your business. You'll find homeowners, auto, business, and life insurance, and they specialize in church insurance. But there's something else. They haven't forgotten their small-town roots for friendliness and courtesy, and they are committed to helping you find a policy that fits your needs. At the Eitzen Agency, they'll work with you to ensure that you and those you care about the most are protected. Call 580-227-2553 for the Eitzen Agency, 102 South Main in Fairview.
The High Plains Insurance Agency takes pride in keeping up with many changes in the crop insurance industry and keeping their insurers informed of these changes. The goal is to help each farmer customize their crop insurance to meet their needs. Thanks for your continued business, and remember, call Amy, Carissa, or Danny at High Plains Insurance in Medford and Loyal at 580-395-2447 or toll free at 1-800-346-4056 for a quote today.
With over 24 flavors of iced tea, HTO is your new destination for the best premium water and iced tea in all of Oklahoma. Offering around 500 drink combinations and half-price tea during happy hour, this is your ultimate tea playground. With a location open in Ardmore and numerous locations coming soon, including the Village and South Oklahoma City, be sure to stop by HTO and experience the best tea you've ever sipped on.
At Maples Nixon Diesel Horse, we've helped a lot of people, and our goal was to treat each and every person like a friend. And as a friend, we've got your back always. We understand what you're going through. Being lawyers is what we do, but it's not all that we are. We care. We'll stand beside you throughout the entire legal process, not just as lawyers, but as your friends. We are Maples Nixon Diesel Horse, and we are here to help.
Dr. Devin Nightingale is your chiropractic choice in North Edmond with easy access from Cashion, Guthrie, Luther, and all the Oklahoma City surrounding areas. As a former college athlete, Dr. Nightingale understands the importance of a fully functioning body to gain that competitive edge. Also certified in prenatal and pediatric treatments, Dr. Nightingale sees all types of patients, ranging from 2 weeks old to 97 years old. We offer conservative treatments to get you back in the game, whether you're a weekend warrior or a professional athlete. So give us a call at 405-471-5565 for a free consultation today.
Back to school. Now your worries about the kids going over on their data plans are back. Mom and Dad, this is for you. Right now, make the switch to Pioneer's unlimited data plans. Don't let data overages and high cell phone bills be something you stress about this school year. We have a plan for everyone. Let Pioneer handle your worries by stopping at a local office today to learn how you can save. Visit gopioneer.com for details. Some restrictions may apply.
For over 50 years, Tulsa Tech has helped people find new career paths, jobs, and a successful future. We've partnered with Tulsa businesses to grow our economy and help train the workforce of our community. During these uncertain times, one thing is for sure. Tulsa Tech will be here when life returns to normal, helping people make their own path. We will get through this together.
This is Game Time. Neptune Game Time creates a high-energy game day atmosphere that your players and fans will love. Every song in our database is 100% lyric safe, which means you can stop screening music for good. Game Time also provides custom messaging to help you promote your upcoming events, concessions, and event-specific announcements. And it gives you the opportunity to sell sponsorships on your station that will generate revenue for your athletic department. Amp up your game day with Game Time.
For generations, the FFA has been helping our children through agriculture to grow into responsible adults. We believe in and we support the work being done by our local FFA chapters and all they do to create an enriching experience for our youth. For all you do, you have our thanks. Farm Credit of Enid. Together, we grow. Is your school or booster club looking for ways to fundraise? Let Downtown Threads create a custom website to showcase all your school apparel. You pick the design and the garment, we do the rest. We will handle all the payments and cut you one check when the website is closed. Call today, 580-237-7060. Downtown Threads, proudly supporting all local high school athletes.
Ready to get back in the game? Great news! The movement experts at Physical Therapy Central can help you find relief and results and keep you off the sidelines. With over 30 convenient locations across Oklahoma City and beyond, contact PT Central today at ptcentral.org to see a physical therapist.
It's time to stop worrying about what's for dinner. Whether you're planning an event or just need meals at your doorstep, let Devlin prepare and deliver fresh food wherever and whenever you need it. Choose from our variety of fresh catering and prepped meals and enjoy the delicious, nutritious food you deserve. Do what you do best while Devlin takes care of the rest. Visit devlinllc.com to see what we can do for you.
Scott Streller and team have been proudly serving the Edmond community for over 30 years. At the Streller Agency, we take pride in offering premier service and the highest quality insurance available: auto, home, life, and more. Our award-winning team has over 150 years combined experience to offer, and we're always working hard to make sure you never have to worry and always have peace of mind. So call or visit StrellerAgency.com today for your custom quote.
Imagine a school with more than 26,000 enrollments per year, cultivating opportunities for students to develop new skills and gain industry-recognized certification. Now imagine a corporate training center that partners with more than 500 local businesses each year, providing a productive and prepared workforce for employers in Oklahoma through customized training. Now, imagine a community resource who believes our business thrives when our community thrives. We aren't just the local VOTEC, we are Autry Technology Center.
Are you looking for a bank that provides excellent security and safety for your account information? Then Bank Central is made for you. When you use our website, bcna.com, you can pay bills, check account balances, download statements, and even manage your debit card. With our mobile app, you can do all that, plus make deposits as easily as taking a picture with your phone. Talk to a CSR at any of our 6 locations to find the products that work best for your banking needs. At Bank Central, we're centered on you. Member FDIC.
This is your moment. You've got what it takes. The grit to get from first steps to finishing touches. You're here to train, to put in the hours. Because today's hard work gives you an edge. To get higher, to earn more, to fine-tune a future to be proud of. Career Tech. Get skilled, get paid.
The thing with car buying nowadays is just how many options there are when it comes to where to actually get a car. Dealerships, websites, auctions, private sellers, and so on. But knowing exactly where to get your car loan makes it all much less stressful. That's where Communication Federal can help. There's a reason we're known for auto loans around here. Lots of car options, lots of places to buy, but only one choice for an auto loan. Communication Federal Credit Union.
Electricity, that's what we've been about since 1936. Since then, Cimarron's mission of bringing electricity to its members has been nothing short of successful. But over the years, it's become more than that. It's about powering our neighbors' heating in the winter, keeping the lights on at the ball field, and keeping your phones charged to capture those special moments. We are proud to be part of your community. Thank you for being part of Cimarron for all of these years.
Dr. Matt Dieselhorst at Dieselhorst Sports and Orthopedics can help you get game day ready. Dr. Dieselhorst works with athletes of all ages, taking a coordinated approach to accelerate return to play and maximize athletic performance. His work with pros in sports training, injury prevention, bracing, functional rehabilitation, and imaging works seamlessly with his medical and surgical expertise. Get started by going to Dieselhorst Sports and Orthopedics. Let Dr. Matt Dieselhorst get you back on the field, backing all Oklahoma athletes on the field and off.
Are you looking for a local, reliable propane provider? Earnhardt Oil and Propane has been serving customers throughout Oklahoma since 1971. Let them tailor a pricing option to fit your budget. Avoid winter price spikes with easy pay, steady, predictable monthly payments you can count on. Need more fuel options? agents, they also offer bulk fuel delivery, DEF, lubricants, and supplies for your business, all at competitive prices. For reliability 3 generations strong, call Earnhardt Oil and Propane at 866-270-1279 or visit www.earnhardtpropane.com.
Since 1962, the Eitzen Agency has delivered quality insurance solutions to you, your family, and your business. You'll find homeowners, auto, business, and life insurance, and they specialize in church insurance. But there's something else. They haven't forgotten their small-town roots for friendliness and courtesy, and they are committed to helping you find a policy that fits your needs. At the Eitzen Agency, they'll work with you to ensure that you and those you care about the most are protected. Call 580-227-2553 for the Eitzen Agency, 102 South Main in Fairview.
The High Plains Insurance Agency takes pride in keeping up with many changes in the crop insurance industry and keeping their insurers informed of these changes. The goal is to help each farmer customize their crop insurance to meet their needs. Thanks for your continued business, and remember, call Amy, Carissa, or Danny at High Plains Insurance in Medford and Loyal at 580-395-2447 or toll free at 1-800-346-4056 for a quote today.
With over 24 flavors of iced tea, HTO is your new destination for the best premium water and iced tea in all of Oklahoma. Offering around 500 drink combinations and half-price tea during happy hour, this is your ultimate tea playground. With a location open in Ardmore and numerous locations coming soon, including the Village in South Oklahoma City, be sure to stop by HTO and experience the best tea you've ever sipped on.
At Maples Nixon Diesel Horse, we've helped a lot of people, and our goal was to treat each and every person like a friend. And as a friend, we've got your back, always. We understand what you're going through. Being lawyers is what we do, but it's not all that we are. We care. We'll stand beside you throughout the entire legal process, not just as lawyers, but as your friends. We are Maples Nixon Diesel Horse, and we are here to help.
Dr. Devin Nightingale is your chiropractic choice in North Edmond with easy access from Cashion, Guthrie, Luther, and all the Oklahoma City surrounding areas. As a former college athlete, Dr. Nightingale understands the importance of a fully functioning body to gain that competitive edge. Also certified in prenatal and pediatric treatments, Dr. Nightingale sees all types of patients, ranging from 2 weeks old to 97 years old. We offer conservative treatments to get you back in the game, whether you're a weekend warrior or a professional athlete. So give us a call at 405-471-5565 for a free consultation today.
Back to school. Now your worries about the kids going over on their data plans are back. Mom and Dad, this is for you. Right now, make the switch to Pioneer's unlimited data plans. Don't let data overages and high cell phone bills be something you stress about this school year. We have a plan for everyone. Let Pioneer handle your worries by stopping at a local office today to learn how you can save. Visit gopioneer.com for details. Some restrictions may apply.
For over 50 years, Tulsa Tech has helped people find new career paths, jobs, and a successful future. We've partnered with Tulsa businesses to grow our economy and help train the workforce of our community. During these uncertain times, one thing is for sure. Tulsa Tech will be here when life returns to normal, helping people make their own path. We will get through this together.
This is Game Time. Neptune Game Time creates a high-energy game day atmosphere that your players and fans will love. Every song in our database is 100% lyric safe, which means you can stop screening music for good. Game Time also provides custom messaging to help you promote your upcoming events, concessions, and event-specific announcements. And it gives you the opportunity to sell sponsorships on your station that will generate revenue for your athletic department. Amp up your game day with Game Time.
For generations, the FFA has been helping our children through agriculture to grow into responsible adults. We believe in and we support the work being done by our local FFA chapters and all they do to create an enriching experience for our youth. For all you do, you have our thanks. Farm Credit of Enid. Together, we grow. Is your school or booster club looking for ways to fundraise? Let Downtown Threads create a custom website to showcase all your school apparel. You pick the design and the garment, we do the rest. We will handle all the payments and cut you one check when the website is closed. Call today, 580-237-7060. Downtown Threads, proudly supporting all local high school athletes.
Ready to get back in the game? Great news. The movement experts at Physical Therapy Central can help you find relief and results and keep you off the sidelines. With over 30 convenient locations across Oklahoma City and beyond, contact PT Central today at ptcentral.org to see a physical therapist.
It's time to stop worrying about what's for dinner. Whether you're planning an event or just need meals at your doorstep, let Devlin prepare and deliver fresh food wherever and whenever you need it. Choose from our variety of fresh catering and prepped meals and enjoy the delicious, nutritious food you deserve. Do what you do best while Devlin takes care of the rest. Visit devlinllc.com to see what we can do for you.
Scott Streller and team have been proudly serving the Edmond community for over 30 years. At the Streller Agency, we take pride in offering premier service and the highest quality insurance available: auto, home, life, and more. Our award-winning team has over 150 years combined experience to offer, and we're always working hard to make sure you never have to worry and always have peace of mind. So call or visit StrellerAgency.com today for your custom quote.
Imagine a school with more than 26,000 enrollments per year, cultivating opportunities for students to develop new skills and gain industry-recognized certification. Now imagine a corporate training center that partners with more than 500 local businesses each year, providing a productive and prepared workforce for employers in Oklahoma through customized training. Now imagine a community resource who believes our business thrives when our community thrives. We aren't just the local VOTEC, we are Autry Technology Center.
Are you looking for a bank that provides excellent security and safety for your account information? Then Bank Central is made for you. When you use our website, bcna.com, you can pay bills, check account balances, download statements, and even manage your debit card. With our mobile app, you can do all that, plus make deposits as easily as taking a picture with your phone. Talk to a CSR at any of our 6 locations to find the products that work best for your banking needs. At Bank Central, we're centered on you. Member FDIC.
Welcome back. We're about ready for the second half here on the Squirtle Game of the Week. Mark Rogers, Adam Dieselhorst, and crew here tonight. Fairview with a big drive, getting the football back before half to go the length of the field in less than a minute to score to go up 27-6, 21-point lead. And the Bulldogs have not been as successful through the air as they were a year ago. It's a little bit more of a struggle. Had a pretty conservative game plan in the first half, which was working. But Fairview's offense, to me, Adam, is capable of running and throwing the football. This team mirrors a lot, to me, to the Hominy team that we saw a few weeks ago.
Yeah, I would agree. You know, you and I talked about that in the game that we called, and I've even had some people ask me about what I thought about Hominy. But I'll say this: balance. Yeah, Fairview impresses me a lot more. You know, Hominy's got some really talented, athletic kids, but I think across the board, I would love to see that game. I think it'd be a heck of a game.
I think both quarterbacks are really good.
Yep.
I think the one advantage Fairview would have is just the edge and the linebackers of this defense, who we've called Pettis' name a bunch tonight, Bowden Miller's name a bunch. I think they're kind of trying to operate a little bit away from Austin Houck, and he's done a good job. So this defensive front is going to give anybody in Class A fits. Hominy's going to have to deal with Tonkawa in their own district, and Tonkawa has just taken no prisoners so far to start the season, a team that eliminated Fairview a year ago.
Well, I think another thing, too, we know about Tonkawa, they lost a lot of people up front from that line they had last year. I know they have a lot of their skill guys back, but that's where I'm tipping my cap to Fairview. I mean, up front, they've been really impressive on both sides of the ball.
Gain of 4 brings up a second down and 6.
And Mark, you were mentioning some surprising scores at half. And 6A, Westmore leads Moore 6-3 at halftime.
Nice run by Cleet Martins, big tackle. Great pursuit to the football by the Yellow Jackets. Walk down to the concession stand, and Coach Bernard was imploring his team that game has really just begun. Have to play with intensity in the second half, and they've heeded that discussion and come out and played effectively here in the first couple of snaps. I believe more through the first 3 games, the Lions had scored more points than any other Moore team in school history. So it is quite a bit of a shocker to see them only getting a field goal in the first half.
Well, no surprise to us. We were talking about the Ardmore Noble game. That was one of our pay dirt games, and it's 21, knotted up at 21.5.
Interception. Stepping in front of that Martin's pass.
Burris.
I believe that is Burris again. Look at his speed. And Burris is going to take this to the house. Touchdown.
He said he stepped out of bounds.
Man, I've had a couple of blind spots tonight. I'll be the first to tell you.
That's why I'm here to help you.
Wow.
That was really
I
impressive.
thought he was able to navigate his way down the sidelines and dive for the pylon and get in.
And that's the second time
Second
tonight.
interception of the night for Burris.
Yeah, and he's doing a good job in coverage, really. Yeah, Hooker just doesn't have anything. They just can't get going at all on offense. They had the benefit of a penalty down here to score right before half, too. Without that roughing the passer call, I don't think they would have gotten the end zone.
It's a pretty young team, this Hooker team. I'm going to go for 2.
Easy.
And Blake Perez goes in for the 2-point conversion, makes it a 35-6 in favor of Fairview, well out in front of the district tiebreaker requirement and looking for more. I'll tell you, you handicapped the race in this district. We thought this one would be one that's critical in the race. There's another team in A1, Burns Flat, that is having a really nice season after moving up a couple of years from Class B. It'll be interesting to see what the Eagles can do.
I know it's early, but I just think everybody in this district's playing for second.
Yeah.
I think Fairview is they have made it. They're making a statement here tonight, and we talked about them all year. Obviously, I mean, I know you had them picked in your finals in your preview, and they're that type of team.
$35-6. Some interesting scores in Class 4A. Tuttle on top of Bethany. Perhaps the best game in that classification tonight. They lead that with 27-13 at half. Chickasha on top of Weatherford 35-21 in the third quarter. It's one of those interesting classifications that I think is wide open at the top. A lot of teams with the potential to end up making the finals or potentially playing for the gold ball. Kick received by the Bulldogs. Keelan Robinson, the freshman, who caught the touchdown pass. And he puts together a nice return across the 35-yard line around the 37, where Fairview will take over 1st and 10. Some Class 3A scores. It's Perkins Tryon over Kingfisher 14-3. Stigler, who's had a lot of success in the non-district, they lead Seminole 15-8. Holland Hall and Cassia Hall, a couple of schools that are used to playing in the first week of the season, 14-14 at halftime. Holland Hall, after winning back-to-back Class 3A state championships, finds itself 0-3 to start the season.
Blackwell's still hanging in there, Mark. 14-6. Have not had an updated score, and looks like Washington scored just now, so they're up 19-7 now. Man, Millwood is all over Alva, 46-0.
Trying the edge and the perimeter of the Fairview defense has just not been good for the Hooker Bulldogs offense tonight. Last state championship for the Jackets, 1999. You know anybody on that team?
I know a lot of people on that team, for sure. That was the year after I graduated. A lot of really good guys. In fact, we had one of those guys on our Pick'em show, John Wogamuth, who was a huge reason why the Jackets won a gold ball that year. In fact, pretty cool story about that Fairview team. Fairview took a huge loss to Heritage Hall. Wes Welker led Heritage Hall. So no shame in that, right? About week maybe 5 or 6 of that season. And after that, they made a few adjustments, kind of moved some people around, and just became a different team and just got on a roll, and it was a really impressive run. But that district had a lot of state champions between Heritage Hall and, whoa, this could be a pick
Another
6.
interception.
It's awesome.
Micah Winans, the senior linebacker, stepped in front of that like it was intended for him, and he returns it about 35 yards for the touchdown. The route is on here. What an interception.
Yeah, that was a big play. I was caught up in talking about the 99 state championship team. The pick 6 quick. It's good to see a senior make a play like that.
And Hooker has not responded on offense here in the second half with back-to-back interceptions. That's 3 on the night for the young sophomore quarterback, Cleet Martins. Extra point is good. I want to come back and talk a little bit more about that 99 team. Of course, Wes Welker's team won it in 98 at Heritage Hall. And then 99 had a chance to call the Heritage Hall Fairview game at Heritage Hall, which would have been I'm not sure if that was 98 or 99, but John had a big game that night in that contest. So
Yep.
This would be, if it is a state championship year in Fairview, the 3rd time. I'm sure you've heard plenty of stories about the 46 team that was able to beat Poto in the finals.
I actually, believe it or not, when you know a lot about tradition here at Fairview, and they do a good job of honoring those state champion teams, and obviously being so close to the 99 state champion teams. I tell people this all the time, and in 90, the year before that, not my senior year, but my junior year, when that team that won the state title was all sophomores, I still to this day believe we were the best team in the state that year. Unfortunately, our running back, who was an absolute animal, broke his arm against Wynnewood in the quarters, and we lost in the semifinals to Hobart, who was a really good team, who ended up winning the state championship, lost in the state championship to Watonga that year. And we had beat Watonga that year by about 5 or 6 touchdowns. It was kind of getting a monkey off the back for Fairview because they had been just drilled by Watonga for so many years, and so. That was really kind of a pivotal point with Fairview in football. It's really kind of what spurred a lot of the success they had through the early 2000s with Coach Welsh. And, had a few down years there, and Bernard has done a fantastic job here. It's crazy to think, fast forward to over 20 years now, and different class, different faces, but the tradition's obviously still here.
Yeah, and you can tell. Crowd's staying around, having a good time tonight. A lot of kids on the track. A lot of school spirit. After the kick out of bounds, Hooker will have it at the 35.
Yeah, and that district, Mark, I mean, I'm telling you, it's, you go Rashawn Woods and Albert Craig at Millwood. And one of the other Woods brothers, I believe Donovan, played on that team too as well. And then you had, Watonga had Jared Roach that played at Tulsa, was a starter at Tulsa for 4 years. Wes Welker, we all know who Wes Welker was, Gatorade Player of the Year, all in the same district. I mean, in Class 2A football, and Alva had some studs. I mean, Tyler Meyer started at quarterback for UCO for 2 years, and we had some really good players. We had John Wilgamuth obviously played at O State, and Rusty Harmon, and Caleb Noble came a few years after him and played at OSU, played offensive line for them, and so it's always fun to see football back going well in Fairview because they've had a lot of great players.
Martin's a little shell shock, throws that one incomplete at the feet of the intended receiver, Lawson Lynch. Flag is down in the secondary. We've had a little extracurricular activity going on. The referee has separated one of the Hooker players from a big group of Fairview players.
That's where you got to get careful if you're a starter from Fairview with a big lead like this. You don't want to get in a situation where you get the guy who gets caught retaliating, one of those types of situations. So Coach Bernard did a good job here pulling Burris out. I'm sure Burris is telling him, hey, I didn't do anything, but you can't afford to lose him for a game. Well, maybe he did do something.
Just always a good coaching moment, but that's a great point. Perry has extended the lead in the Battle of the Maroons 26-6. It is not looking good for Blackwell to end that long streak. Speaking of Class 2A District 1, looks like the Hennessy Eagles are putting together a little bit better year. They're really pushing OCS in the third quarter, 21-15. Martins.
Goodness. Have another ref down again.
Got tangled up with the chain gang. I think he's okay.
Look at this score. Miko is up 20-0 on Cashin.
It's a tough district, and Cashin so used to success. Back-to-back state championship teams. Just tough to fill the shoes of the group that they've had there the last 2 years.
Yeah, three straight state championship games too. You know, having lost to Ringling that first year in that run, that's pretty tough to do. I don't care what class you talk about.
Well, I think it might be as tough in Class A as it is anything. You've got to navigate the largest classification in the state.
Oh, well, there's a stat about that of how many times a Class A team had repeated as a state champion, and I want to say it hadn't happened in a long time until Cashin did it. You know, you hear a lot of the same names, but you know, it may take them 3 or 4 years to get to, you know, in the runs.
If I remember right, I believe perhaps 94, 95, 95, 96, Velma did it.
Okay.
So that would have been, I think, potentially the last team. Rush Springs ended their 40-game winning streak, I think, in the first round of the playoffs one year. Little screen pass caught by Braxton Burge. And he's going to get forward for the first down.
So much. Look at that. Hospitality.
Oh.
The Blackwell Maroon.
That's right.
She's the best of both worlds. She's a Fairview Yellow Jacket and a Blackwell Maroon.
Misty Mann from Blackwell.
You're going to need that water to finish this next cupcake that I'm going to let you have.
I would. Okay, we need to get to that in a second. 4th down and 1 here for the Bulldogs. They need to get it across the 40, the nose of the football. This Fairview defense has been a tough customer to move the football against. Martins is going to get the first down, gets punished. The ball is out.
I think he was down first, yeah.
He really got drilled there by, I believe that was Pettis.
I got to ask you, Mark, you're a beard guy. What do you think about the officials' beard game down there?
Well, I was going to try to determine and was going to speak about it in the pregame show. Now that is, which official is that? Is that the line judge?
He'd be the, no, he'd be the, yes, he would be. Yes, I'm sorry. Yes, you're right. Chris Park, is that right?
Chris Park.
These guys are doing a great job, by the way. The officials are. Give a shout out to them. And I'm so in support of what you said earlier on about officials. You know, my dad's a long-time high school basketball official. I officiated for quite a while until my wife got into coaching, and I enjoyed it. And I'm telling you, it is it's something that nobody wants to do, but it's so important. It's so important for these kids and high school athletics. And you're right, there's a big-time shortage of it, and more people need to do it.
Well, there's a lot of camaraderie in it, too. And plus, again, this is a great environment. This is a great entertainment on a Friday night, something to do, to be out and amongst the people in the community and be on the field here with those kids, like you said. It's not going to make you a lot of money, but I think you would find it a very rewarding experience.
So we were talking about Rush Springs, and it sparked my attention. So his name is failing me, the kid that just recently verbally committed to OU. Now, wasn't he a Rush Springs kid? The kid from Mustang, the wide receiver, defensive back that's going to OU.
Okay.
Isn't he from Rush Springs originally?
That is a good question. Now, I know his dad was Malcolm Johnson, the basketball coach at Northeast for a while. So I'm not sure. That may be true.
That's what I had heard at one point, but
Jacoby Johnson.
Jacoby, that's it. You ever been to the Watermelon Festival at Rush Springs?
I have not. I have not. My former radio partner and I, he purchased a watermelon one time on the way back from Comanche. We were doing a show down there, and we purchased a watermelon in Rush Springs, and then he promptly received a ticket, and he was not happy about that.
Was that Dusty?
Yes, that was Dusty, yes. He may still be on probation. I'm not sure.
And he does a fantastic job calling games.
Oh, no question about that.
Man, he's good.
Now, the Watermelon Festival is each year in August, correct?
That's right.
Now, have you been to the Watermelon Festival?
I have, and I'll tell you, we've got a decent one up here at Cleo Springs. You know, Cleo's not quite the booming metropolis that Rush Springs is, but I think it's something about the springs. You got Clio Springs, Rush Springs. I guess that means you got to have a watermelon festival.
I mean, could it be Highway 81? Is the highway that
yeah,
all the watermelon, great watermelon grows on?
Yeah.
You know, every once in a while, I think during watermelon season, they will bring the watermelon to the city, and one of my mom and dad's very good friends purchased a $30 watermelon from a man. And
better been a black diamond.
I don't know what was in. It should have been just diamond, not anything, not just a black diamond watermelon, but diamonds on the watermelon. I didn't know, but I think that was some serious inflation and perhaps even price gouging.
So you know something that's actually going on.
You should be able to get a nice melon for less than 30.
You should, yeah. $30 is pretty hefty. So people that are tuning in that are not from the area may not know that the threshing bee is currently going on at the Major County Historical Society today.
Pass rush screen, another interception. Wow, it's just been a tough night for Martins. Wow, the Jackets really opening up on this. What a defensive effort tonight.
And that was Perez, too, there, big time, man. And, Fairview's had this whole game scouted out really well, too. Any of the passing game stuff that Hooker's tried has just not been very successful.
I trusted my phone to get me here tonight, and I went through Loyal and came up kind of some back roads this evening. But when I did come into town, through O'Keene, I did see a green sign that said that the threshing bee was going on this weekend, and I'm glad that you brought it up because I have no idea what that is.
So I'm going to really disappoint a lot of people from Fairview by not being able to give you the specific details on it, but the threshing was the way that the farmers back in the day used to harvest. So that the thresher was basically the replacement of the combine. And I'm probably not accurate about that, but I know there's a lot of people from Fairview that are listening that are alumni, and they are going to text me any minute to tell me how stupid I am, how big of a disgrace I am for not knowing what the threshing bee is. So.
Well, okay, I would assume that maybe that is honoring the art of threshing, which, by the way, the combine was one of the great inventions of all time.
100%.
Because you have to have a big scythe, right? And then you just go down there and tear down the wheat by –
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. With the
How long do you think you and I would have – do you think we'd have been pretty good at that during the summer or not? I'm going to say no.
I tried my hand on the farm around here a few times and usually found my way back to mowing lawns for Tim Stafford back in the day. And that wasn't easy work either. I'm not going to lie to you, but –
I'll tell you what, I'll mow a lawn any day other than try to cut down a wheat field by hand. Screen pass and a stiff arm given at the end by Perez. He's had a big night.
Well, I'll tell you one thing I always say to people too, and I know there's a lot of kids out here on both sides of the ball here that, from agricultural families, and it's the lifeblood of this part of the state, and there's just something different about a kid that, bales alfalfa, bucks bales, works on the farm, works cattle, all those types of things. They just have a different strength about them, and that's one thing you see from kids, still to this day out in this area.
Going to blow this dead for illegal procedure on the offense. Yeah, I'll agree with that. I think that's it. What do we try to do now? I mean, I have not worked on my core very much as I should lately, but I would say that baling hay and loading hay, hauling hay, that's all pretty good core exercise.
So another claim to fame at the Historical Society is the John Deere Green and Yellow Expo, too, as well, which is one of the older John Deere shows in the nation, maybe the oldest. That also happens during Fairview. And Fairview also has one of the oldest free fly-ins in the world, too. You get I think I get it right. Like if you fly in, you get a free turkey.
Oh, nice.
Which is a pretty good deal.
Yeah, that's not bad at all.
Who got him?
Bernard back to pass in stride. Isaiah Burris, and the ball comes out. Did it come out after he crossed the goal line?
Oh, wow, it did. And it's going to be a touchback.
Wow. It was hard to tell. It looked like he was gone because he has so much great speed, but I think there was a pretty good play by the Hooker defender to reach out and poke that ball free.
I thought he was in the end zone.
See what the officials are talking about. The official threw the bag, and I would assume there's no need to do that if it crossed the plane of the goal.
Right?
Okay, I was way far off.
Yeah.
So you have to. It's basically separating what's the good and the bad from the weak.
There you go. But I thought there was a machine that did it, like a thresher machine. I'm going to need some clarity on that. Maybe Craig will give us some clarity.
Dude, they're going to kick me out of cake.
Right? Bryce thinks so too.
They're going to kick me out of K County. I'm never going to be allowed to go back. I lose my legend status tonight by showing such ignorance in farming.
Well, I sat inside of a Gleaner L3 and was asked to operate that, and that lasted about 5 or 10 minutes, and so they pushed me over to the grain truck, and that's where I sat. That was easy. All you had to do was just drive back and forth.
Hand off. Hooker, I think, content just to try to get some experience here on the road in the first district game of the season.
Horn at this point, like you said, shorten the game.
We'll get a close one of these days.
We had a great game last week, OBA and Sealing.
OBA, that's a squad that has some potential. I think
they
could possibly be right in the middle of that Class B state championship race.
I'm telling you, their quarterback is – and they got a lot of other good players too. I don't mean to, talk down on any other players, but their quarterback is a different kind of kid.
Timeout for Hooker. We'll take it with them. 2:22 on the clock here in the third quarter. It's all Fairview tonight, 41-6.
Are you looking for a bank that provides excellent security and safety for your account information? Then Bank Central is made for you. When you use our website, bcna.com, you can pay bills, check account balances, download statements, and even manage your debit card. With our mobile app, you can do all that, plus make deposits as easily as taking a picture with your phone. Talk to a CSR at any of our 6 locations to find the products that work best for your banking needs. At Bank Central, we're centered on you. Member FDIC.
This is your moment. You've got what it takes. The grit to get from first steps to finishing touches. You're here to train, to put in the hours. Because today's hard work gives you an edge. To get hired, to earn more, to fine-tune a future to be proud of. Career Tech. Get skilled, get paid.
Welcome back. 2:22 to go. Hooker will have the football, 3rd down and 7 to go. Adam, thanks for having me come up to your hometown. This has been fun tonight. This has been a great environment. Love getting out here to Fairview. Haven't been here in a while. The hospitality has been unbelievable. Not only is there a threshing bee going on in town, they got a bake sale from the FCA downstairs, and there are some unbelievable bakers in this place. The cupcake that you've left sitting here in the booth is tempting me. It's probably causing me not to be able to see some of the plays tonight, call people's names wrong. But I will tell you this. I got to tell it like it is. The cookies, the bars in there, the chocolate bars with the coconut,
unbelievable.
Best I've ever had.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. I'm not kidding. That could be the finest dessert. If that was at my house, then I don't know what I'd tell you. They would not last long. I would not be able to stop eating those. Those are incredible.
Well, I had 3 of them.
And the sad thing is that they've kind of set in there.
I know.
I don't know what is wrong.
I think these people in this box over here are spoiled. They're too. They
must be spoiled.
They get the hospitality too much. But that was Miss Antoine, Alyssa Antoine. She's been here at Fairview a couple of years, and she does an absolutely fantastic job with the leadership and student council. I think they were the ones who kind of set up and organized the Salute the Troops, the Boy Scouts earlier, which I thought was really cool to see too as well. And she also is in charge of the Fairview Yellow Jackets.tv streaming crew too as well. So she is a big proponent of that, making sure that all the Fairview alums and the people of the Fairview community are able to get all their games streamed. So, and then Chelsea Mallory, she had come up a few times. I think she's who brought us the cupcake, Miss Mason's. She's a Booster Club president, so hospitality's been fantastic. Does not surprise me one bit, though.
They're doing an incredible job.
I got to give a shout out to my man Randy Eitzen down here. He is as big of a fan of Fairview sports and knows more, I promise you, about every generation of athlete that's come through here than anybody. If you went down there and stood down there for a little bit, Mark, he'd tell you about the girls' basketball teams back in the 6-on-6 heyday. And then if I was with you, he would talk about shooting three-pointers because I think he had the feeling that maybe I shot too many threes in my career.
Oh, that's good stuff. The Yeah, I was still in high school. We had 6-on-6.
Yeah.
It's not been. It's been that long.
I'm kind of a traditionalist. I like the 6-on-6 game.
Yeah.
I mean, I obviously, with my wife being a college basketball coach, there's
Look
a
at
touchdown.
this. Wide open. Perez snuck down the middle of the field. Not bad to give him a reception for a touchdown after working so hard between the tackles. He had to earn his money in the first half. But
And he's got
nice
a double
catch.
cramp, too.
47-6 with the extra point coming up.
Just another great play call by Coach Bernard. They just got so many different weapons that they can, in the pass game, they had the Martins kid, the Strader kid, the Houck kid, obviously Burris too with the speed. And then Perez does what he does. And then he's a weapon in the pass game too as well. And I tell you, Bernard has Jax has really impressed me. His growth from last season to this season. He's making much better decisions. Last year, I felt like some of the games I watched, this game I covered last year with him, he played a little bit like a freshman, which that's part of it, the experiences. But that's what I like to see. A lot of times you see kids regress, and he has not. He has made big steps, big improvements, much better arm strength. And I'm telling you, he's still got a few years left. He is going to be a force to reckon with.
Well, he's playing like a senior tonight.
I agree.
With all the poise and talent, and looks much, much older than his sophomore year.
Well, and you talked about it too earlier, Mark. I mean, how hard is it to command an offense where you're playing so fast too also, and to make sure you're making all the reads and doing all the right things. It's been really impressive to watch. This Fairview team is for real, folks. I get asked a lot of questions about that. I think everybody thinks just because I'm associated with Squirtle, I know everything about sports, which I don't. But they're always asking me, what do you think about, what's Fairview shot? And, and I really think, listen to the guys like you that do know a lot about sports. You picked them early in the year, and I think, because, of course, we got a lot of football left, but they got a really good chance. They stay healthy.
Great kick coverage there. Yeah, I think the measuring stick, again, I think Hominy was probably a little bit underrated.
Yep, I agree.
And we've seen them. They were undefeated going into this week, and they're in a really tough district. They might not even come out on top in that district. But I do think, again, this Fairview team favors comparably to them. Their quarterback, Jackson Woods, also a good player.
Yep.
Also a junior,
yep.
An underclassman. I think that they both throw it really well. Defensively, though, I think that this Fairview team probably has a little bit of an advantage. Now, again, the night we saw Hominy, they were playing a Class 4A team. It's not one of the better teams in Class 4A in Cleveland, and a young team. And certainly Hooker's got a fine football program. So it's hard to always compare scores. I like both of these teams, and I think either one of them would have a chance to make a championship or perhaps even win one.
I would second everything you said, my friend.
We got a good one in the Moore War tonight. It is Westmore on top of Moore, 13-10. And the long streak was broken last year by Moore. But this would be a surprise if the Jaguars were able to win that tonight. Edmond Memorial is up 21-7 on Santa Fe. The Wolves have been the Edlam City champions for the past several years. And that would be a big, big feather in the cap of Logan Thomas, the Edmond Memorial coach in his second year, to be the champions in Edmond, to defeat both Edmond North and Edmond Santa Fe. If they can hold on to that. That game is in the fourth quarter, 6 minutes to go. Tough defense. Fairview guys still out there playing hard here as we come to the end of the third quarter, and that one may be a little bit of an ankle injury.
Looks like a cramp, yep.
Cashin trying to make a little bit of a rally on Minko, 20-8. That game is in the fourth quarter.
So So it's not exactly the Threshing Bee or the John Deere Green and Yellow Expo, but it is the Red Dirt Campout. And that's something of significance, Mark, is that this year, Mark, I believe over 20 years that a group of my friends and I have had a camp out at Bartell's Farm south of here.
Uh-huh.
So even though we've all gone our separate ways and live in different areas, and in fact, one of our friends was a missionary in Peru and even came back from his mission to make it to a camp out. But we have a camp out 2 times a year. We have a fall camp out, which is on the weekend of November 4th this year.
Yeah. And
then we have one in the spring and May, and so.
That's outstanding.
Pretty
now,
cool
it could
tradition.
be a little cold. Do you have you camp outside in a tent, or do you camp in a trailer?
Well, and that's the thing, is it's become kind of a luxurious camp out.
You're a glamper.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, the Bartell family, Walt Bartell, who recently passed away and was a huge member of this community, and he has his footprint and hands on a lot of everything you see around this town. Waldon and Maybar, manufacturing companies. I believe maybe he was part of constructing this press box with Marvin Martins and a few others. But he put a caboose out on the farm. He was he's a big historian, an engineer of some kind, and he brought the caboose in from Fairfax, Oklahoma, and painted it and redid it, and that's where I always stay. There's an old oven inside of there.
Okay.
It's been converted to propane now, so it's safe. Well, as long as the propane's not leaking. But so we stay in there, and yeah, that November campout can get a little chilly. Honestly, the April-May one can be a little warm sometimes too. So. But we're tough.
Is the caboose secured? Does it have doors and
windows?
Yeah. Okay, all right, very good.
It even has a restroom in it.
Yeah. Now, unlike the part of the country that I'm from, you might run into a rattlesnake out here every once in a while.
Well, I showed you the pictures.
Yeah.
Those are from out by the farm.
There's more dangerous things here than there are about 80 miles, 85 miles to the east.
Yeah. That's beautiful country. Out, you head down towards Canton. You go through the Gyp Hills down by Southard. A lot of people don't realize how hilly it is over there.
No, that's absolutely true. And then the Gloss Mountains just to the west of Fairview, north and west. It's crazy topography if you haven't been in this part of the state. I mean, you and I have both been fortunate enough to travel to a lot of different places doing what we do. But you get the river and the dunes at Winoka.
I know, and that's so cool. Then north of there, you can go to Alabaster Caverns of Freedom. I mean, they should hire us for the Oklahoma tourism.
Oh, I agree.
I mean, we're advocates.
John Hardaway would fight us for that job, though, too. I don't think we could remain friends if we didn't include him. He would be absolutely a worthy companion on those trips. He has done a fine job with the Squirtle food blog.
He has.
Was willing to push his body to the limits at the state fair.
So my question is when is your week? You're going to have to set a week that's yours.
I wanted to be able to leave a little earlier today than I was able to, and that would have allowed me maybe to perhaps make my first visit to Taco Bandito, but or something along those lines. So we'll work something in.
We'll get you an Enid area game to do Bandito.
Just have to call into the Sports Animal Sick.
Yeah. I honestly do feel like I failed you not taking you to Kid Drug and getting a milkshake there. It's still an actual soda fountain, like an old school soda fountain.
We almost had a 5th interception of the night there. Now, was it open later on?
Oh no, it's closed.
Yeah,
it's closed. It's a gift shop, pharmacy. That's where you register at your weddings.
Okay.
Got a lot of cool knickknacks in there. I guess that's what they call them. Isn't that a word, knickknack?
Knickknack. Yeah.
I use sniffer.
So,
but yeah, their shakes and malts. And just their drinks are fantastic because this is like the old school soda fountain.
I'm all about that. That'd have been less room for the chocolate bars. I don't know what they're going to call that in there. I'm not sure. But
Chocolate Heaven.
Need to find out what the official name for that is so we could give it its proper respect.
I might ask Todd McHugh. He may know.
Fairview takes over.
Got a lot of new faces in. Ooh, this is a big
new
one.
Running back, and his yards per carry average is going to be pretty good. Jose Arana, senior, has a little burst. And Arana did a nice job of holding on to the football after his trying to be stripped. Bernard still at quarterback. Well, this score will definitely open some eyes around the state, I think. Arana brought down by the big nose guard in the middle of the Hooker defense.
I think they may have decided to start running the clock, Mark. I don't think they're stopping. I know they would be running it normally, but I noticed in the change of possession they were running it. Starting to see that a lot more, even in, obviously this, you don't want to get anybody hurt. And obviously you want to give some of the younger guys some opportunities still too, but boy, it's a long drive home for Hooker tonight.
Yeah, I got no issue with that. Arana takes the handoff, huge hole.
Golly.
Driving down towards the goal line. Yeah, I'll tell you what, this was a hard-fought, well-played football game in the first half.
Yep.
It was tough along the line of scrimmage, and I think Hooker was going to hopefully try to make this a fourth-quarter game, but they just really could not stop this Fairview offense from doing what it's done. It's been so versatile throwing and running the football tonight.
And really, on all honesty, when you look back at it, and no offense to anything Hooker-wise, I think Fairview, the only time they've really been stopped is when they've stopped themselves with penalties and miscues. But, man, their offense has really been humming.
Arana is down at the 1-yard line.
Got to give credit to Fairview's student section down there. They're still getting after it.
Everyone's still here.
Might be a fifth quarter after this game, maybe. That's usually a kind of a tradition in Fairview. We used to drag Maine. A lot of Maine drag. I don't think kids do that anymore, but
I think there's too many other good things to do. Arana is tackled in the backfield. Doesn't get in.
I had a really sweet 1991 military gray issued. We called it the USS Dieselhorst.
Oh,
it
very
was
good
like
name.
It was literally like a battleship gray. Grand Am.
Yeah,
big time vehicle. I think it got maybe 6 miles to the gallon somewhere around there.
How long is the drag in Fairview?
Let's see. So, Fairview has 2 lights that change colors, which is pretty significant for a Class A school when you think about it. I mean, like they go the whole sequence.
Right.
Red, green, yellow.
Yes.
Like not just a flashing red. So I'm going to say the drag is 1, 2, 3 miles.
All right, it's
so
not bad.
You go from
Sonic, one end of the drag?
Sonic to Bob's, which is the gas station on the south end of town.
Sonic is a good turnaround point.
Yep. So Pizza Hut was the turn because it was a little smoother.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's a new Sonic. The old Sonic was right next to South of Pizza Hut, which I think is a monument company now.
And Bernard going to keep it himself and get into the end zone. There's some good sportsmanship there as he took a lick going into the end zone, but one of the Hooker players tried to give him an assist to get up there, and we have reached the 50s. Coach Switzer would say hung half 100 on. Blackwell had a quality drag. The Sonic was a part of the drag, but the turnaround was the Walmart. The opposite end of the town, the turnaround was the youth center, which had a youth center where the people that couldn't drive would hang out.
Okay.
So a lot of the older guys might find some of the younger girls there to pick up, and then they would turn around and go to the Walmart on the other end. So a lot of lights in town. Pretty quality situation. We'll take a break while I go get another one of those bars. It is now 55-6 in favor of the Yellow Jackets.
The thing with car buying nowadays is just how many options there are when it comes to where to actually get a car. Dealerships, websites, auctions, private sellers, and so on. But knowing exactly where to get your car loan makes it all much less stressful. That's where Communication Federal can help. There's a reason we're known for auto loans around here. Lots of car options and lots of places to buy, but only one choice for an auto loan. Communication Federal Credit Union.
Electricity, that's what we've been about since 1936. Since then, Cimarron's mission of bringing electricity to its members has been nothing short of successful. But over the years, it's become more than that. It's about powering our neighbors' heating in the winter, keeping the lights on at the ball field, and keeping your phones charged to capture those special moments. We are proud to be part of your community. Thank you for being part of Cimarron for all of these years.
That is not a misprint. 55-6 is the score. Fairview continues to roll here in the second half over Hooker. Big night. Really impressed with Jax Bernard, the quarterback, who's had an excellent game, especially the defensive front linebackers, Bowden Miller, who played well. Ethan Wallace played really well tonight. Interceptions on the defense from Isaiah Burris have been a difference maker in this game, and many, many others for Fairview have had a great night. Mr. DeSlores, would you like to do any speculation on next week's potential game of the week?
It's so funny, Mark. I was just looking at that. Trying to see. We got some. Tonkawa at Pawnee might not be a bad one.
Would not be bad. Really haven't didn't take a look ahead to this week to see exactly what we had coming up. Washington at Community Christian.
That might not be a bad one either.
Jones at Crossings.
Yeah.
It's probably a pretty good ball game.
Now, I want to get over and do a Preg game. They're a network school and had a really good year, too.
Preg moved east in the district this past season for the first time. Rafe Watkins back there coaching at Preg in his hometown.
So I know we've been invited to do Blanchard Tuttle. I don't know what week that is, but it's Coach Craig is. You hear about Coach Craig, his mishap?
I did not.
He broke his leg.
Oh, that is not good. What happened?
He was playing catch after practice with some of the kids. I don't know the full story, and I don't mean to laugh about it because it's not funny, but you know Coach Craig pretty well.
Very well, yes.
He just cracks me up every time I talk to him, and so just thinking about him having that happen to him. So, of course, his daughter plays for my wife, and so she was telling the story to Tasha, and so he's spending a lot of time in the booth right now.
Okay.
Needless to say.
Is Carly a pretty good storyteller?
She is. She is a fantastic kid. And I'm telling you, she is a heck of a basketball player, too. She was a kid that we got late because, she had committed to play softball early, and that's what she thought she wanted to do. And we're so happy to have her. She's as good of a player as she is. She's a better kid, too. So
big game next week for Blanchard. They play Newcastle.
Ooh, that might be a good one.
Newcastle ranked in the top 10. They've got a running back, T.J. Bradford, that's a freshman. That is, his dad played some football at Oklahoma State, and he is a pretty special player. He's one of the better young guys in any classification this year in the state. And Newcastle, I think, believes they've got a pretty good squad there. Clinton and Elk City next week is also a good game. That one is in Elk City.
Saw Metro Christian, and Metro has a good game. Perkins.
Metro Perkins will be an outstanding game. I think that's a big test. Perkins was beating Kingfisher earlier tonight. To see if either one of those teams can really kind of jump into the state championship mix. But Metro really tested themselves in the non-district with a trip to Arkansas against Prairie Grove and then a win at Poto, who I had picked at the beginning of the season as my 4A state champion. That's really got my attention for Metro.
I'll tell you a game that might be interesting to watch is Guthrie at Piedmont.
Yeah, Piedmont was winning big tonight over Southeast. It's an improved Southeast team. I like that game.
McAllister at Del City, man, that'd be a heck of a game.
There's no better game in the state than that.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, Coweta, McAllister, Del City, all in the same district.
Man.
You get a chance to see Eric McCarty, the OU commit.
Had you seen him play? Did you go see him last year in the state tournament?
I did not.
Playoffs?
I did not.
Okay.
Hooker moving the ball here with a minute 15, trying to perhaps put one more in the end zone.
So we got to give a Squirtle player of the game. So who does that go to, Mark? What do we
so
think?
tough.
I know.
What's the name of the woman that made these cookies?
Alyssa Antwine.
Alyssa
She's the player
Antwine.
of the game.
That's my player of the game because it's been such a great effort tonight between Isaiah Burris, who had the 2 interceptions, and several receptions on the offensive side of the football. Blake Perez was so important early in the game. We called
Jax Bernard.
Bowden Miller's name so many times, Ethan Wallace's name so many times. But I think if we have to give one player the quarterback takes the blame and he takes the credit. So we'll give the credit tonight to Jax Bernard. Maybe call it a split decision because there were so many players deserving of that. And I think for a team to come out here and play this polished and this well tonight, you got to give everybody that's got a suit on down there credit tonight, too, for what they did in practice this week. Looks like Hooker's going to score a touchdown here in the final seconds of the game. Cleet Martins has had a rough night out there as a sophomore.
Well, good for him.
He's got to be a good player going forward. He scampers around the edge for a touchdown. 55-12, extra point pending.
Fairview plays host to Thomas next week, and Thomas is a team, obviously, that has kind of taken their lumps here recently. We talked about, Cashin struggling, and Thomas is another team. But I have been told, Coach Shackelford and I were talking about this the other day. He told me that Thomas has some really good young kids, and so just another couple of years. And Thomas is one of those programs that, I mean, it's like
too much tradition.
Oh man, they have always been good. I mean, it's.
Here's another good one in Class A. You got Crescent and CHA.
Hey, that'd be a good one at CHA. That would be a good one.
Now, do you take input on this? I mean, do you take any official input or just input from the inner circle?
So we do. We'll ask. And I'll be honest with you, Mark, we've been really blessed that a lot of times we'll have people reach out to us about games, and just say, hey, we got a good game this weekend. You guys would be welcome to come. So now a lot of times it happens a lot more often in small school just because of the production. Bigger schools typically have people that are live streaming or a radio station covering. So, we're really fortunate when you get to about 4A and down. We do have a list of people that have said, hey, I'd like for you to come do a game this year. And so we try to make sure we do that. Obviously we're going to try to come do a Fairview game every year, and we try to do a Cashin game every year. And Piedmont's another one of the schools we try to do a game with them, and that maybe next week Piedmont Guthrie might be a good one. But I like that CHA Crescent game. That would be a good one too. Obviously,
they've been telling me about the touchdown burger at the Piedmont game.
Have they? Oh
yes.
Yes, that is phenomenal.
The band,
with the hot link,
Sean Witt, my friend Sean Witt, my fraternity brother at OU, has said that there's no better snack or there's no better game food than the touchdown burger.
So Lane Jones was there.
Okay, that's correct.
And Lane used to have. That's kind of my connection with Piedmont. He's obviously with HTO now, which Lane is really close friends with Alyssa Antoine, who made that bar for you. So it's just everything's kind of coming together here.
I want to go into business with Alyssa. I think we need to mass produce.
He needs to sell those at HTO.
If he's not even trying. Wait till Traber gets a hold of these.
Oh my goodness!
I mean, he'll have to. Yeah, that won't be good for his health.
Yeah, that's so true.
Although I know Jim is taking these great steps to try to deal with his chronic pain. These will temporarily remove any kind of pain he has. I promise.
You think he could ever get Jim to come do a game of the week?
It will thrill the taste buds. Yeah, we could get Jim to come do a game.
That would be so awesome.
All you have to do is set up a poker game afterwards.
Hey,
on the camp out, you set up the poker match.
There
we'll
may be
get
November 4th, weekend of November 4th.
Yeah. Well, that will do it. Again, I want to say thanks to everybody here tonight. Adam has been fantastic. I had a great time hanging out at Fairview and am thoroughly impressed with the Yellow Jackets. This is a team that's going to be right there playing in December in Class A for Hooker, a young team tonight, perhaps having a tough evening, but I think that still a squad that's certainly capable of making the playoffs in Class A.
Yeah, I think this is more about who Fairview is than about Hooker. I think Hooker has a bright road in front of them. May have an opportunity to sweep out the rest of the games in their district and make some moves in the playoffs. But Fairview's a different team. Fairview's one of those better teams in the state. They've proven it. Had a lot of questions about that over the last year or two, and they're there now. Target's kind of on their back, and I think that they've got a really great opportunity as long as they stay healthy to make it a long ways.
Final score tonight, 55 for Fairview, 12 for Hooker. Until next week, we will see you then here along the Squirtle Network for the Squirtle Game of the Week.